Hello gamers, welcome to another DSP video. But before we get to the DSP content, I have something to show you guys. DSP said you can't get viral on Twitter anymore. Oh, it's so hard to get any attention on Twitter, it's not gonna work anymore, blah blah blah. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I went viral. That's right, me. I went viral on Twitter. It's fucking crazy. I have a tweet that got 42 replies, 121 retweets, and 458 likes, and 124 bookmarks. Ladies and gentlemen, I finally did it. I made a banger tweet. Everyone said it couldn't be done. It just couldn't be done. I did it. That's right. I'm so cool now. I'm sure my streams moving forward are gonna pop the fuck off now. Guys, it's only a matter of time before I get a little check mark in my Twitch channel. That's right. That's where it's gonna lead, because Twitter viral is important for everyone, obviously. But the tweet that got me this Twitter viral nonsense is a tweet about the artist Roboto. If you don't know, Roboto was an artist that did a lot of stuff with the publisher company Udon when it comes to Capcom books. He did a few covers for the Street Fighter art books as well, that kind of stuff. I liked his art. I thought Rob was a talented artist, but I started to notice that this dude, when I used to follow him on Twitter before he blocked me, he was very toxic to everyone. He would just randomly just start flexing on all these artists, just bragging how much he made. He bragged how much money he made off his art. He bragged how much of a better artist he was to other people and that kind of stuff. It was to the point he was alienating other professional artists and other colleagues of his from him. And there was a lot of other controversies that surrounded him. One of them was a Kickstarter or some crowdfunding website about a thing called Cryamore. I don't know if it was a game or a comic. It was really not clear in my opinion. I don't know. But it was a thing called Cryamore. People put money into it, and he did not deliver on it. And that became a thing where he then started to refund people, but I don't know if he refunded just off the bat or he had to get drama to happen for him to start refunding people, because you can still find people claim they never got refunded, and then you also see Rob claim that he did refund people. So I don't know the full story necessarily about Cryamore. It just seems very mixed. I'll have to read more about it. But when you have any crowdfunding stuff and you have a dividing story like that, it's very hard to kind of not see Rob as a scammer at that point, because usually if you get refunded, it's, everyone agrees. But since there's like a lot of people that don't agree with the way that Rob tells the story, it makes you really scratch your head a little bit. Because I've also remembered seeing posts where Rob is still counting how many people he owes for refunds. I'm just like, shouldn't you have like a easy data to know who to give refunds to? I don't know, whatever. But that is just ridiculous. Then he had a website called Crimson or whatever, which I did subscribe to when he first opened it, because I was like, oh dude, this guy's, it's gonna be a $10, no, it was actually less, it was $6. It was $6 a month, and you would get like exclusive, like explicit artwork from him. I'm like, okay, that's a good deal, whatever, $6 a month, that's solid, whatever. He then announces he's closing that website down, so who's calling? I don't know this number. They can talk to the voicemail. So, it was $6 a month. I was like, okay, fine. He announced that he was closing the website, and he's gonna reopen it later. He announced the reopening, and the prices went up. So it went from $6. He said, like, hey, if you're a legacy sub, you'll get like a $6 sub for a bit, and then you're gonna be transferred to the new tier, which is like $15 or whatever the fuck, it was 10 or 15. And I was like, no, I am not doing that. Fuck that, because it was a good tier before, and then I was like, this is like not a price I want to pay. Nah. So I didn't do it, because it was also already infrequent how he would update that website. So I was like, I am not paying more for a site that was very like infrequent with its updates. So I was like, nah, no thanks. Maybe sometime down the road, because I wanted to see what was gonna happen, because the way that I subbed before to him, it was like, okay, this is gonna be a fine thing, and then it just shut down. So I'm like, I'm not gonna subscribe. I want to see how long this is gonna last because it was way too fast. How fast it went from open to closed. So I watched it happen, and to no one's surprise, the website closed again. He shut it down again, and then he announced he was gonna reopen it again. I was like, dude, how many times are you gonna fucking do this? And it was even a shorter period of time when it was open the second time. So I was like, this, no way, no way. I'm glad I didn't subscribe to this, and that already like rubbed me the wrong way immediately. And then like I think the third time you open it was way more suspicious and scammy than it was before. It was like, dude, this is ridiculous. So that's where I just really was like, yeah, fuck this guy. His art is fine, but no. And even after that, he started making more and more posts. Like, this is even the one that was like insane. He announced he was going to delete all the art off of his Instagram because he was tired of people looking at his art for free. And he kind of says this summary, and it's like, dude, you make art online. Like, this is how people like get their quality out there and all this kind of stuff. And this dude brags about how much he makes. He keeps bragging how much he makes. He's like, I'm so successful, I don't need to worry about anything, and all this kind of stuff. He's so dedicated to being this toxic asshole. And then when it's like, it doesn't go his way, he's like, what? It's ridiculous. So let's read what he had to say, because this is what triggered me to make this little tweet. So let's see. I don't know, neither understand why being honest is looked down upon. I can't sustain myself anymore because barely anyone wants to pay me for the work they keep clapping to. Again, just because people like your art, like your videos, or whatever that you put up for free, it doesn't translate that these people are gonna magically suddenly become patrons of yours. Like, if they want to support you in any way, that's their decision to make. You can't force them to, you just kind of have to hope that someday they're gonna want to. And you just have to keep at it, keep grinding, and all this kind of stuff. Like, that's really why a lot of people will just tell you that being a YouTuber, being an artist is not really a successful career path off the bat. You can't just become successful. You have to like kind of work at it. So him just saying that, it's already ridiculous, especially when he, as I said before, brags how much he makes off his art and all this shit. I outline all the unfair bullshit that has happened to me, such as the udon situation, and been very transparent about my needs for me to continue doing this work. And it's like people read it and pretend they didn't read it, but are quick to hit like or comment on posts, ignoring the elephant in the room. Like, a lot of the complaints about like the udon stuff, like there are people that say that, oh, Rob was like a very toxic person to work with an udon, so they had to let him go. There's stuff that you can read that kind of goes in many different directions, and maybe people just don't want to react to it because they don't want to like unfairly judge a situation. But whatever. And Rob can say that he's honest, but let's say that he was actually toxic, right? Why would he tell you that? You know? So it's already kind of like, you just have to look at the situation for yourself and judge if you believe him or not. But whatever. I mean, he can feel however he wants about it. Whatever. And then he says, and I have to watch Thoughts Get Paid easily for putting on a wig and a swimsuit. And it's this energy. I've kind of criticized DSP for the same thing. Why complain how other people make their money? Like, there's always people that are gonna make more money than you. Like, why waste your energy on that? It's kind of like when I see people who like get mad that DSP got like $100 tip, let's say, in a stream. It's like, what? No need to get mad about that because one, that money's gonna go right out the door, and secondly, it's like the people who are giving these people money want to give them money. Like, people want to go to a Thoughts OnlyFans and give them money. That's what they want to do. So be it. There are worse ways people get paid for. There's far worse things out there, and I don't think it's worth being this upset about someone having an OnlyFans account. It's just, it always baffles me when I see an outrage like this. It's like, I don't know, like, if they wanted to do this stuff on OnlyFans, so what? It is what it is. So I just think it's kind of a waste of energy for Rob to focus on that when he's upset that he's not getting paid more or getting money from the people who look at his art for free. Why not, instead of taking that energy that you're putting towards thoughts, you just make good art and you just focus on what you want to do? Because the other issue that people may not be wanting to support him is because of his bad attitude. You know, because it's not even like confidence, egoism, or whatever the fuck. It's just very toxic. A toxic, egotistical artist, and like no one wants to like be around that. I find it ridiculous that only 40 people have subscribed out of the literal thousands everyone sees when the price is reasonable as hell for the amount of effort I dedicate and dedication for the oh my god, dedication I put into my work. Anyone can put a lot of work into any art, and they're not gonna get paid the way that they want to half the time. Like, I believe that Rob does put a lot of effort in his art, but it doesn't always translate that you're gonna get thousands of people to support you. And again, this is why I wanted to make this post. This here was the number one thing I wanted to focus on. Everything else is this kind of a clown thing in its own way, but this to me is hilarious because again, he bragged. I've read so many Instagram stories of him bragging how successful he is, how much money he makes, how much he doesn't have to do anything because he makes so much money. There's so many tweets where he's like, yeah, fuck Udon. I don't have to deal with him anymore because I'm a self-made man. I have art and I make money off it. That's right. I'm successful. All this shit, just shitting on people over and over. So when I read that I was like, you're really gonna complain that 40 people subscribed out of the thousands and brag about how successful you are? Like, what the fuck? I was really confused. And again, there's so many artists that would just like do backflips to get 40 people to support them like this. And he's complaining about it. If it's such a big deal, Rob, why don't you just go back and find other work and companies? Like, he could probably work for Capcom. He could work for Konami or whatever the fuck. He could get work. Like, that's the thing that's so funny about this. He's complaining, but he has the art skills, he has the experience, all this stuff to get other jobs that people would die for. And he's sitting there complaining that people are not subscribing to his website. I mean, I don't know, Rob. Maybe you should be closing websites and reopening them multiple times. Because honestly, I have seen him close and reopen websites and changing his websites like way he sells stuff so many times. It's like, why would anyone want to put any money to a website that closes and reopens to that extent? It's not even like, okay, this is like 10 years since the last update or 5 years from the last update. It was like a month. And it's like, no one would want to spend money on a website that is going to be open and then close in a month. And then to reopen again with different rules and all this other nonsense. Because, like, I think one of the most recent reopenings of a website, I was reading how it works. And I was like, why would anyone want to support this? It was ridiculous. So honestly, I think personally, the reason why only 40 people, he should be thankful, honestly, that 40 people are subscribed out of the thousands is because no one wants to subscribe to an inconsistent website. So he should be grateful 40 people are willing to put up with it. Honestly. I'm certain this makes you haters happy. Happy. There you go. You did it. You've won. I give up. I much rather be homeless and die off somewhere. Now, I've seen so many people reply to this tweet saying he has quit social media multiple times, he's quit being an artist multiple times, and yeah, this dude is a massive clown. There's no way he's not gonna just not make art. I just think he's gonna make art and just paywall it completely. And again, let's say, right, you're one of those 40 people that subscribe to this guy, and you read this. Are you gonna want to continue your subscription? He's pretty much saying you'd much rather be homeless. So I would kind of feel far more uneasy that, yeah, I don't think this guy, he may not make artwork anymore. When I read this kind of stuff, I think there was another story saying he quits too, by the way, which is hilarious. All this stuff is nonsense. And then he posted another story bragging about the engagement that this got, and I was like, dude, you're making these like ridiculous posts about nonsense. So this dude has a massive ego problem, and like just if you go through these replies, you'll just see a lot of like people just dunk on him. And it's sad. It's low-key really sad that this dude went from just an artist that was actually kind of talented to this like insanely negative, toxic person that just tramples on everyone. It's insane. And he brags about his own fucking success, and then says, "Oh, he's going through a hard time." I mean, everyone is, but he's complaining that he has 40 subscribers and thousands of people are not willing to subscribe to him. And I think this is a bit after he decided to delete his Instagram art. Like, dude, you just have a bad image. This dude has the worst image out there for an artist to have. He has a website that keeps closing and reopening. He has an issue with crowdfunding that people are still debating about to this day. Like, you're not gonna like get any points. So yeah, this was the banger tweet. I got famous, that's right. So that's definitely gonna translate to my streams, right? So let's get back to another toxic individual. To DSP. We're gonna be watching the suggestion box. I didn't remember if I watched the first one or not. I'm gonna assume I did. So this is the second time he did the suggestion box, and then we'll get to the latest one, and we're gonna have a good time. So buckle up. We had a nice little derailment to talk about my banger tweet, and now we're gonna go down to DSP. All right, sound good?
Fuck them. Anyway, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Are you ready for something special? We're continuing with the suggestion box. We haven't done this in a week. And you guys probably forgot about it, but I didn't.
He didn't, guys.
I've been waiting all week to continue on with the suggestion box.
It says a lot, by the way, that he only does the suggestion box when there's nothing to talk about. Like, if there's not a lot of gamer news to talk about, he'll do a suggestion box. Because that's how much he cares about it, right?
Box, and it's open right here, and we're going to continue on right now. You ready for this? I want to see Phil get lost in the back rooms. He should play one of these games. 1, Escape the Backrooms, the OG and most updated Backrooms game based on the Kane Pixels Backrooms found footage. Number 2, the Complex found footage, free but short Backrooms game. Took me 45 minutes to complete, a prequel to the Complex. The Complex, best-looking Backrooms game in early access being worked on.
Oh my god, look at this.
What the hell is this person talking about?
The dude put down games, explained the games to him, and he's like, what's he talking about? He wants me to play a backwoods game. This game is like this, and it came out then, and it plays like this? Huh, what does that mean? Does he just read and not understand? I guess it's not, because it's not AAA stuff. He didn't say like, oh Phil, are you gonna play you should play the Avatar game from Ubisoft. Ah, the Avatar game from Ubisoft. Yeah, man, I am gonna play it, man. Yeah. That's what he wants.
Does anyone have any idea what that meant? What is the Backrooms? Right? I don't know what that means.
He explained it. He literally explained it. He read the explanation.
Is it a kind of game?
Is it a kind of game? Oh my god.
Found footage, free but short Backrooms game. Took me 45.
Short game. Early access. Is it a game?
Talking about. Does anyone have any idea what that meant? What is the Backrooms? Right? I don't know what that means.
The more you see him read stuff, the more you'll start to really feel like this dude has reading problems. Like it's really weird because he sometimes reads people's stuff and then he just kind of misconstrues what they're saying, or he misunderstands what they're saying, or he doesn't understand it, or all this stuff. It's just really weird stuff, and it comes off each time that he doesn't know how to read.
Is it a kind of game? Backrooms is meme zoomer trash.
Meme zoomer trash. Yeah, we got it shit on the zoomers, right?
The Backrooms are an online fiction originating from a creepypasta posted in a 2019 4chan thread.
Wait, but if it's Zoomer, why is it on 4chan, huh? I'm confused already. Because 4chan existed before the Zoomers, dude. Come here. Nice. Remember when he used to like mute the mic to blow his nose, and now he's but now it's like more of like sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. But I do understand why he goes off camera to do it. We've seen what he does with that tissue. It's so bizarre that he blows his nose and he puts his finger up his nose to kind of get what's ever there. Like, that doesn't really help. Like, if anything, you're just kind of doing nothing and you might be hurting your nose more. Ugh. What if his nose is fucked up because he does that?
These are all apparently Steam games, and the reason this person brought it up is because now I have a mini PC, so I could play these games if I wanted on Steam, and apparently they're all $10. I know absolutely nothing about Backrooms, so if you guys think that'd be something fun for me to do as a random thing, it's $10. I'd be okay with that. You let me know. All right? Okay. Continuing on. Hey, Phil, hope you're doing well and you're excited for the upcoming Halloween.
It's so weird. The first time he did it, he was being very toxic about game suggestions. And now it's like, he'll accept some, but the thing is, you read that, and you already know when he does it, he'll just be a caveman. What do I do? So do you really want to watch that?
Season. You bet I am.
Wait, what?
Okay. Continuing on. Hey, Phil, hope you're doing well and you're excited for the upcoming Halloween season. You bet I am. My suggestion would be the most tackle Hollow Knight or Blasphemous. They'll generate stream, chat, involvement, and discussions. There's lore and options on how to approach them.
Now, when he played Metroid Dread, when he played that game, he told us that game saved Metroidvanias. It now convinced him that he can play Metroidvanias again. And he kept teasing Hollow Knight after that. And now they're telling him to play Hollow Knight again. And this is his response.
The Hollow Knight sequel is coming soon, and Blasphemous 2 released in 2023. Both will have ongoing momentum. The game can be frustrating at times and will satisfy Souls fans, but it's highly rewarding and satisfying. Metroidvania games in general please both the modern and retro viewers. Excuse me. Traditionally, every single time I play a Metroidvania game, they don't work. People complain that they're too boring.
No, you said Metroid Dread saved it. Shut up. And he also told us that those Metroidvanias were before he was an interactive streamer. Come on, wake up.
And too much exploration and not enough going on in them. Although, I would say Metroid Dread was the exception to the rule.
Oh, now it's the exception. This dude, look how fake this fucker is. Because I remember listening to this, and I was kind of livid. I wanted to do a video about this, and I just never did. I just sat on this. And now I forced myself to do it, so this might be a long video. So get some popcorn, I forgot to say. But, my God, this dude spent so many times bragging how Metroid Dread saved Metroidvanias, and he was saying we could discuss playing Metroidvania games again. Oh, you guys say Hollow Knight, should I play Hollow Knight? And all this stuff. And now it's just, oh yeah, it was just the exception, man. I said this back then when he was like talking about Metroid Dread. He was always gonna play that game because it's a Nintendo game. And he would never skip it unless he wasn't gonna get ad revenue. Like if they were still taking YouTube ID stuff, he may have skipped it, but he played it because he could make money off it, and it's a Nintendo game. Like that's why he played it. So this whole thing, like, oh, it saved Metroidvanias, was such a loaded lie, and it's so ridiculous, and it was such an easy lie to see through if you paid attention to this fucking clown.
So, okay. You should have on guests.
And then he says it was an exception. Okay, so he didn't say yes or no. Like, this is what's so bullshit about these suggestion boxes. It's just him reading and just saying stuff. But he doesn't contribute anything. You know, the more I think about the suggestion box, the more it's more disguised as just another waste of time segment. Like, everyone would add a segment to their podcast if it does something. They just don't add them for the sake of it. This is just a addition to the podcast for no reason. Just sitting there to say, oh yeah, I read suggestions, guys. Okay.
Screen them. Do your best to avoid trolls. If they start trolling...
Oh, God.
I would say Metroid Dread was the exception to the rule. So, okay.
Okay.
You should have on guests. Screen them. Do your best to avoid...
You know this was fake when he said, have on guests. You know he was going to read it like this. Like, it's ridiculous.
Trolls. If they start trolling, you dump the guest. Have them pick a topic you both agree on to discuss. Have an honest, good faith discussion with them. This would be a natural progression of DSP Reacts. You can have someone engaging with you in the audience. You don't have to go on someone else's channel. You can have this content on your own channel. What do you guys think about that?
This was an idea he had, though. He had this idea. And then fucking the side scrollers ruined it. Yeah, because everyone was like, whoa, this guy was on the side scrollers? Oh, I don't want to touch him, man. Obviously. That's how it works, right?
Right? If you remember, earlier this year, I told you that I had 3 ideas.
Another
for DSP Reacts. Idea number 1 was DSP versus the internet. Idea number 2 was long form React content. And idea number 3 was DSP asks it.
All 3 of the... I've never seen all 3 subject ideas backfire like they did. DSP versus the internet is complete trash. It is the worst thing he puts out now. Like, oh man. The long form reacts are just drama videos that he wants to do on downtime. So it's again another filler segment. Like, honestly, DSP Reacts is just a filler channel. That's all it is. DSP versus the internet is the only thing that's like forced upon anyone because it's every Sunday and it gets in the way of everything and he always moans about it. It is such a weird channel and it always seems like a punishment. Because he's like, well, I would get far in this game, but I have to do DSP Reacts, man. I would play later, but I have to do DSP Reacts, man. It's like, holy shit, man. Like, why open a channel if it's going to be such a torture segment? And it's not even good content he's doing this for. It's just filler and another way to milk his fans.
This was going to be... What is going on with the sun? I gotta close the blinds now. This was going to be...
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Wait a second. He told us, by the way, yesterday, as I'm recording this video, that those blinds in his office were always broken. They can't move. But now he has to move the blinds down? Huh? I'm confused. I'm really confused. I have to listen to the blind story again because it really doesn't make sense. Because he complains about the blinds every day, and he told us yesterday, yeah, the blinds in my office were always broken. What?
A show where I had guests, and it was going to be an interview format where the guest and I sit down, and I would interview the guest, but of course they would talk to me as well, and we would have back and forth discussion. Okay? That was the point. That was the whole point of this idea of the show. And I had one guest already lined up 100% on board to do it, and I had 2 guests on deck who hadn't confirmed yet, but they were interested, and I had everything lined up, and then the sun...
So you had 1 guest. How did you have 2 guests if they're not on board?
You know, the same semantics DSP gives on Keem, I'm gonna give on him, man. How did he have 3 guests? He had 1. 1 was gonna show up. The other 2 didn't even show up. They didn't even tell him they were gonna do it. They just said they were interested, man. That's not the same as being on the show. Idiot. Wow.
Came out and I couldn't see.
How can you have 3 guests if 2 of them don't show up?
No. Here's what ended up happening, and we already talked about this. So DSP Reacts launched in February. All right, I told you guys I was working on this project, and I was hoping to launch the interview show by, say, April. What happened between February and April? The fucking Side Scrollers interview, where after they did what I consider to be at least a semi-fair interview.
Oh, now it's a semi-fair interview. And then when you talk about Turkey Tom, it wasn't fair. Huh, interesting.
They then decided to turn into giant haters for money. So because of that, literally, I had nothing but negative attention against me for about 2 straight months. And it was fucked up the way they did it for personal profit.
Like, look how scared he was, because I think what the reason why he canceled it was he was afraid the guest was gonna bring it up, and he didn't want to talk about it anymore. So he wants to wait till no one remembers it. It's such a chicken shit thing to do. Then just don't do it. Just don't do it. If you're gonna cancel an interview series on a whim like that, you might as well just not do it. If that's the case, if that's enough to have you to not do it, then just don't do it.
They hurt me. They hurt my fucking viewers. They hurt everyone. And because of that,
how did they hurt his viewers? They still showed up. They still supported him. If anything, they helped him because they supported him more.
Basically, no one wanted anything to do with me. Right? Like, oh, why the fuck would I want to be on an interview show with Darkside Phil?
Who said this, though? Like, that's the other thing. Like, did the guest tell him directly, I don't want to be involved with you anymore? Like, this dude, it's like this dude really wants to be, live the life of a star that gets canceled, where, everyone's dropping him left and right. Like, it's like he thirsts for it. But it's also not happening, because he's hosting the show. The dude agreed to it. The dude didn't tell him no. Does he know he didn't want to do it, or did he just say no? Because it sounded like he's the one. DSP was the one that canceled it, not the actual guest.
Everyone hates him right now because everyone's crapping on him, right?
Right.
So it ruined the show. You know, that idea, I said, well, forget it. Now's certainly not the time for that. Let's put that on the back burner and maybe go back to it later. Okay? So, there you go. And so,
there you go.
Would I consider doing a show like that again? Yes. But it would have to be once all the nonsense comes.
Again, I hate this. I'll wait till the nonsense calms down. It already has. They haven't even talked about him in years. Dude. Like months. The last time they talked about DSP was what, July? Like, and no one even cared. No one cares. Like, dude, if people cared, then how come Boogie is still getting attention? Like, this dude is such an idiot. Just don't do it. Don't do the fucking interview then. If just another person's interview is enough to stop it, then don't do it, because this is the problem that it would become. It would just ruin the frequency of it. Because if it could be interfered that easily, like, no point. Just move on.
Down. I would say, it's been going in that direction where I'm staying away completely from all the drama. All these idiots keep trying to pull me into it all the time, and I ignore their nonsense, and I don't bring them up, and I just fucking stay in my lane.
This is pre-Turkey Tom, by the way.
And I play games, and that's what I'm trying to do. All right? So, is there a possibility that maybe next year, when all this stuff is now almost a year since the bullshit.
This dude is so obsessed with fucking years. Oh, I can't do anything different now. I have to wait till the beginning of the year to do it. This dude's so lame. It's so lame.
Right? Can we maybe actually bring that idea back and try to make it happen? Yes, it's a possibility. Absolutely it is. For sure. All right? But it just didn't make any sense to try to put it together at a time when, because of the malicious actions of people looking for personal gain on the internet, that they decided to fucking turn on me like that and ruin any opportunity for me to start something new. It was actually very lucky that I'd started DSP Reacts in February, because if I had waited and I was only going to launch it after the interview, the whole idea would have fallen flat. No one would have cared. So I got very lucky with.
But how would they not care? The interview still got you attention. Whatever. Okay. But wouldn't the interview also affect the channel anyway? Anything can happen to it. Just because it launched and then the interview happened doesn't mean that the channel can't fail still. It's failing now.
Timing, for sure.
It's just code.
So we'll see. It's not a bad suggestion. It's just something that right now it doesn't make sense to implement.
Doesn't make sense. Okay.
Shorten your podcast. 3 hours per day is too long. My podcast is not 3 hours long.
This is a recurring suggestion to shorten the podcast. So many people told me to shorten the podcast, and he's saying, "Oh, it's 3 hours long." But it feels like 3 hours. Like this is an hour and 29 minutes podcast, and it just feels like it goes on forever, and has a lot of worthless segments. Maybe you could just get rid of the worthless segments. Like he acts as if he's talking like an hour long of worthwhile segments, but they're not worthwhile. Why do we need to hear about the schedule every day?
The stream starts at 10:45. The actual podcast show does not start until around 11:07 to 11:10, and typically it runs to around 11:30 to, or excuse me, 12:30 to 12.
I like that we have like time windows. Remember one of the first upgrades he did? I think he stopped doing it too. I don't want to fucking bother because it's gonna be a pain in the ass. But I don't even think he gives you the time when the podcast starts anymore. He used to. They just stopped doing it. Really weird, huh?
45. So if you actually measure the podcast, it's between an hour to an hour and a half every day. The reason you think it's 3 hours is because you're a fucking idiot and you listen to morons who complain constantly and they over-exaggerate about everything. Every podcast out there on average is anywhere from a half an hour to about 2 hours long.
Okay, so then why don't you do a half hour? Now, it's funny he says this. Just remember this for when you get to the latest suggestion box, because it's a doozy.
Depending. That's an average podcast. My podcast is not any longer than anyone else's. It's just that people...
Yeah, but those other people have other people that they talk to, and they say more interesting stuff. I feel like an individual can't really do a podcast for an hour and 20 minutes. Like that's kind of insane, unless they have like a lot to say.
Over-exaggerate, because for me, anything I do is always wrong. I don't get judged the same as everyone else. So because you said that it's 3 hours long, you can kiss my fucking ass. Get a co-host for your holiday stream. Bring Cat back. Imagine the donations you would get if Cat was on the stream. I'm sure your mods can handle troll comments. So, number one.
Also remember, he told us that the trolling isn't so bad anymore. He has a control of the trolls.
Get a co-host. I have zero interest in having a co-host for anything. Zero. I'm staying in my lane. I'm staying away from drama.
I don't know, DSP. You just told us that DSP Asks It is still on the table. So you do have an interest. I mean, sure, it's not a guest, but you know what I mean.
I'm purposefully making sure that anything I do does not negatively affect my viewers. Therefore, no reason for a co-host. Okay? Will my wife ever appear on the streams again? We've already addressed this, all right? You know why she's not on the streams. When she first moved in here in 2018, 5 years ago, the intention was every once in a while she would do a Q&A session with me.
This is
where
wild.
we would sit here with the viewers and actually answer questions and talk about our life and stuff like that. We were going to do that. We did 2 of them, and we were going to continue to do those. In addition, she was going
to... They were going to continue to do it. I mean, he did it so sparingly. Like, it's to the point. It was just clear when he did it, he was just bored, and he didn't want to play a game, so he just said, okay, let's do this, and then they never did it again, because there was no consistency to it. But okay, whatever.
To show up for special events, like holiday events and things like that, possibly doing co-op, or maybe just we were going to do that. We did 2 of them, and we were going to continue to do those. In addition, she was going to show up for special events, like...
He never said she was going to show up for special events, by the way. He never said that. He said maybe we could do co-op and all this stuff like normal. He never mentioned special events until... Like, you know, it's kind of weird, right? I mean, the only special event would be like Halloween, like he did with Leanna.
Holiday events and things like that, possibly doing co-op, or maybe just sitting here and relaxing with me and being a part of the fun, right? And what happened? People were insanely nasty to her for no reason. She literally never said or did a negative thing to anyone on the internet.
DSP, you're the most trolled person on the internet, man. You don't think people are gonna troll her anyway? And again, like, if she can't handle it, like, fine, whatever. I think it's fine. If she doesn't want to be on camera, that's her decision. If she doesn't, because factually, yeah, she doesn't have to put up with the trolling. But I just think DSP just sitting there and be like, it's the troll's fault. Is this kind of like worthless energy, and we don't need to hear this. He could just sit there and like, yeah, she doesn't want to be on camera. But instead, we have to always point the finger. We always have to blame someone. Like, grow up. Yeah, trolls suck. Yeah, she may not have liked it. Okay, she doesn't want to show up. Just say she doesn't want to. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. We always have to be told a story about it, because I guess he thinks that someone's gonna is gonna ask him like, well, didn't enough time pass? But it doesn't matter. She obviously doesn't want to be a part of the streams, and I also think it's suspicious that he only tells us that it's up to her. Why doesn't he ask her though? Why not just ask? And also, she could just play co-op in another room. She doesn't have to be on camera. But whatever, okay.
Right? And I'm going to say this, because now I'm going to be very honest with everyone. All right?
Okay,
my
be honest.
ex, I feel...
Now, this is... Get a load of this.
Turned, like, pissed off a lot of people with the way...
I think my ex pissed a lot of people off. I mean, like, okay, we're gonna victim blame Leanna? I mean, sure, you could say she was instigating people at the same time. Isn't that what trolls do, too? I mean, trolls try to piss you off. You get pissed off. She was trying to piss them off. Like, it's just... She was just being a shit poster. Yeah, it's annoying and shit, but, I mean... She's on the internet, too, in a way. I just think this kind of aspect of it is kind of meme to sit there and be like, yeah, that's why. It's just like... She trolled them. They got pissed off. Obviously, when you troll someone, that is a risk to happen, and that's it. She just didn't really calm down about it. She just kept going. She just kept going with it. So they just kept going too, and he was the victim of it. He was actually the victim, man, if you think about it. But this aspect of it is dumb too, because Leanna has nothing to do with Kat. Like, at all. So him blaming Leanna for why Kat's getting trolled is the dumbest shit. It's so stupid. He would be closer blaming Jasper at this point.
She used to behave, alright?
Like, he would be closer to say that people hate Kat because of Jasper, because every time she's home, we have to kick Jasper out of the room. He'd be closer saying that than saying it's Leanna's fault. That factually makes no sense.
That was a lifetime ago. My wife is not my ex.
Right. But the thing that people were trolling her about is stuff that's not even anything to do with her. It was just like, hey, this person had an affair. Now, I would say no one knows the true context of why that happened or why the affair happened. And you know, okay, DSP told us that her ex was abusive, right? So with that knowledge, it does kind of make sense why she saw DSP behind the scenes and not tell him directly, because I don't think abusive people will take a breakup pretty well. I'm just gonna put it out there. I doubt that if someone was abusive, they're gonna like take a breakup in a positive way. So it does make sense, in my opinion, why it panned out the way it did. But at the time when this whole thing happened, that we didn't know that. To be completely fair, we didn't know that was the case. So just on the outside, yeah, it just looks like that she cheated with DSP. So we were just gonna troll that with troll about that, bring up a lot of other stuff that's just even more, you know, in her past. And sure, you could argue that's shitty and all this stuff. Sure, I mean that's a fair thing to say, but I would argue at this point, Kat reacted to it in a more mature way than DSP has, because Kat literally is just like, I don't want to be a part of the streams, and that's it. And then she's off going to work and all this stuff. Like, that's far more like a mature way to handle it than DSP telling us every time how much of a victim they are over it. Like, move on.
Right? But it seems like people rubbed that onto her. Like, that negativity towards my ex went onto my wife, and that's not fair at all. They're two completely different fucking people.
That doesn't make sense. No one hates oh my god. No one hates Kat because of Leanna. If anything, people now love Leanna more than Kat. But Leanna is honestly not a great person either, but it is what it is. And he's sitting there saying like, wow, people took the hate and moved it on to her. No. People just troll people, man. And you're the most trolled individual. Like, I also don't want to say like it's Leanna's fault or it's Kat's fault, but I mean, you marry a person that gets heavily trolled. What do you think was gonna happen? Like, hey, this guy got swatted. This guy got false copyright strikes. I'm gonna marry this guy. This guy seems pretty cool.
All right? My ex used to cause a lot of problems. She used to talk shit. She used to get into fights with my viewers. She would come into the chat and moderate and shit. I get it. I've admitted, as I've reacted to my old documentaries and things like that, I've told you guys. That's all on me.
Me?
You understand? That's my fault. Because I allowed her to permeate my content in a lot of ways and to negatively affect certain parts of my content. I should have had a separate...
Oh my god.
Understand? That's my fault. Because I get it. I've admitted, as I've reacted to my old documentaries and things like that, I've told you guys. That's all on me. You understand? That's my fault.
Yes.
Because I allowed her to permeate my content in a lot...
Wow, it's his fault that he wanted to spend time with his girlfriend at the time. Wow, what a terrible person, right?
...of ways, and to negatively affect certain parts of my...
Like, what he could have just easily done, he didn't have to, like, put Leanna in a cage or anything. He could have just said, hey, Leanna, can you, like, calm down? Can you, like, try not to, like, engage with the trolls or whatever the fuck? Like, he could have done a lot of other things. It really has nothing to do with her being in the content. It was just, if people were saying that I just don't like how she acted, he could have just told her, like, hey, can you, like, relax? Or whatever. But he takes that issue and is like, oh, the answer is to put her in a cage. Put her in a little room. Separate her. It's like, what?
Content. I should have had a separation between business and personal, and I didn't do that. That's my fault. All right? But those days are in the past. My ex has been my ex for 6 fucking years.
And again, people, like, they were mad at Leanna, not Phil. The only reason people were mad at Phil was just how he reacted to the criticism of it. Just saying, oh man, Leanna's annoying. Instead, he called them sexist. Just for saying that. And it's like, dude, it's like, try to understand why they find her annoying and then see if you can, like, have her calm down or have her not be annoying. But okay.
All right? I am now happily married to a woman who I'm going to be with.
Like, it's just funny, right? He gets a whale that might be toxic and all this stuff that's like harassing viewers. He will just try to tell them to calm down and leave them alone. But he couldn't do that for Leanna. To tell Leanna to calm down. The girlfriends get the okay, either you're here or you're not here. That's it. No in between. But the whales, they get the in between.
Hopefully for the rest of my life, who I absolutely love and cherish, and it's a completely different situation. She has not done a single thing to anyone on the internet to get their anger.
Just wait until she falls for a divorce, dude. But yeah, I don't believe in the divorce arc because, again, if she were to divorce him, he's gonna complain about it. He's gonna be more passive aggressive. He would not defend Kat this amount if they were splitting up. No way. No way. No way.
Zero. She's not my ex. But it seems like the hatred of these idiots, right? Because they're so upset about all the vitriol and stuff that used to be tossed towards my ex. Now they transferred that over to my wife. That's fucked up. She is not.
Look how much he wants to have her be a super mega victim. And I think this is kind of unfair to Kat, how DSP talks about her, because she literally was like, I just want to be a part of this, okay? Okay, that's it. End of story. Like, that's where it ends. But instead we get like, oh, they did this or that. All this it's almost like romanticizing the toxicity. And it's like, dude, she just doesn't want to be part of your streams anymore, bro. Like, let it go. And instead it's like, oh, it's unfair to her. Look how much of a victim she is. And it's like, dude, she just got trolled and she just doesn't want to deal with it. That's it. Like he acts as if it was worse than what it was. Like she literally was like, yeah, this is annoying. I don't want to be part of it. And it was bored. She looked bored. You go watch the streams that she was in. She looks bored as fuck. I'm willing to even bet it wasn't even the chat. I think she just didn't want to be part of it, and he's just coping by saying it was the chat's fault. And it was the trolls. I mean, she could have said she was just annoyed. Like, she could have been bored and annoyed. And instead of, like, acknowledging that she was bored, it's the trolls' fault. That's it. So it's okay to be bored, but if the trolls are there, then it's awful. Because, like, she offered nothing. She didn't talk. They didn't talk to each other either. Like, he really did not pay attention to her at all. Like, there was no chemistry. Like, dude, it's like if I did a Big Bun Game Club and the whole time I'm just like, just talking, but I'm not addressing Retro or Just Gamer John or Charles. I'm just not talking to them. Like, how fun would that be? I would look really fucking weird. It needs to look really weird there, but it's the troll's fault. Okay.
Not my ex. In any way, shape, or form. But immediately when she started showing up in my videos, let's hate on her. Let's make fun of how she looks.
Dude, you go to the IRL streams, he highlights all the trolls. And the thing is, the funniest shit ever. I brought this up when I was watching the introduction of Cat video. DSP literally was just like,
Hi, Cat. The trolls are gonna make fun of you. They called you a horse. They called you big face. They think that you're an escort. They think you're all these things, Cat. The trolls are they're just gonna make fun of you, Cat.
and it's like, how? Yeah, when you put it like that, I don't think it sounds fun to be around you. And then the IRL stream starts, and he's like,
Oh, this person's trying to be my ex. Oh, another troll. Oh, Cat, are you real?
like all this stuff, all the time, keeps highlighting the trolls. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna just throw it out there. I think the trolling and you telling her the trolls are there and reinforcing it didn't help. Because it's really like, he sees a troll and he tells her immediately, well, it's really fucking weird. And also at the same time, like, everyone that's involved with him seems to have a negative opinion of Chet anyway. So, like, so what, right?
Make fun of how she acts. Let's make fun of how she talks. Let's make fun, everything. Just destroy her.
DSP has made fun of how other people talked and looked so many times. If this is such a bad thing, then why do you still do it, DSP? He makes it a point to make fun of Keem for looking like a gnome, which is a tired insult that is not even fresh or original. Like, DSP really just stole it from someone else. And he's like, do they make fun of how she looks, man? Oh, I get it, because Keem has a YouTube channel and he makes videos and he makes fun of people, so it's okay. Okay, but then why did you make fun of that random Twitch viewer that had blue hair, huh? Like, it's really whatever.
Why? What did she do to you? Nothing. That's why she's not in my content. Because since the day she stepped foot on stream, no one gave her a fair shake. Instead, it was...
Did she give us a fair shake, though? Think about that. Because she already told us she doesn't care what the trolls think, so why did she care about the trolls think, huh?
Just, let's be really fucking nasty to her. So...
And again, the thing is that, like, he knows she'll never be on stream, because if she goes back on stream after all this stuff that DSV's been saying, it's not gonna go well for her. Because, like, DSV makes her sound so fragile. And I'm really out there to believe, I don't think she's that fragile of a person. I just think that she just doesn't want to deal with it. And she just decides, look, I don't need to be on the stream. I have my own life, I'll do whatever I want. Fuck it. And she just does that. And she has the right to do that. It's her life, right? Correct?
That's why she's not in my content. That's why she's not going to be in my content. Do you understand? She doesn't want to put herself into a place where she's going to be unfairly hated on, either because of association with me or because you guys were so pissy about my ex and you transferred that hatred over to her. All right? It's bullshit.
Okay.
So...
life's unfair, okay?
Whatever.
It's that simple. All right.
But like, how come, right? He says it's bullshit to hate on Kat, but since Leanna like talked to people and she was aggressive, it was okay to shit on her. Okay. Whatever.
She has zero desire. Why? She doesn't want to put herself, her own words, why does she want to put herself in the line of fire to give people ammo to just say more nasty things about her?
Then what's the point of complaining then? What's the point of this? He says all this stuff and all she said was, I don't want to be trolled, so I'm just not gonna show up, and that's fine. He's acting as if like we scared her off from streaming, but she stopped streaming the moment she started dating him. But okay.
Literally has not said or done anything negative on the internet. She purposefully has stayed away from having social media accounts and things.
Did she go out her way to not have social media accounts? I mean, she had a Twitter account, then she stopped using it. And again, DSP kind of makes it more fun to go to like find stuff about her because he just does weird shit like this. He could just say she doesn't want to be on stream. She just wants to do her own thing, and that's it. But he goes so extra for no reason.
People can't say that she's done bad things for reason to hate on. You understand? So why would she want to do that, right? So there you go. So again, any person, literally, every time you have the question, well, will your wife ever appear in your content again? Here's how you can answer the question. Talk to my detractors and say, when will they grow up? Because the moment they grow up and they agree, okay, we're not going to attack Phil's wife because she has nothing to do with anything that we don't like. The moment that they agreed to that and they would not do that, and instead they would leave her.
Okay, but then let's say that we all agree to that, right? It's still not going to happen. Because how is he gonna know, right? That everyone agreed and everyone's being serious about it. Like, it's such a meaningless statement to say. He could just say she doesn't want to be part of the content. Like, all he had to say was, why is the kid going, she doesn't want to be on my streams. And that's it. That's all he has to say. We don't need a pity party every time for why she can't be on stream. Like, come on. He's getting off so hard on this for no reason. Like, he's not even the one being the victim here. Kat's the victim, and he's like enjoying it. It's kind of fucked up.
Alone, she could come back to the content. Have they done that? Or have they...
But does she want to? Again, why is it up to us for her to be on the stream? She already said she doesn't want to be on the stream. Let it be, man. Like, okay.
Systematically try to every moment to try to get any piece of information about my wife they can. From her past and stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with our life today.
Dude, you literally told people that we couldn't find anything about her past and bragged about it. Then you bragged about information we didn't know. We did not know she had an abusive ex. And he's like, yeah, he doesn't even know she had an abusive ex, man. Like, that's what you want to brag about? Okay, I mean, you do you, man. And it's just really weird to me that he was so willing to volunteer information about her like that. But okay.
Trying to stalk her and her personal shit and accounts. They're losers. So as long as my haters and detractors are losers...
Then why did you brag about knowing stuff that we didn't know? Like, are you 12?
And stalkers and wastes of life, she will not be in my content. The moment that they grow up and they change for the better and they agree to not do that shit, she can come back. So there you go. From now on, don't ever ask me the question. And that's how I'm gonna respond from now on. Literally from now on. If anyone just asks me, hey Phil, when is your wife going to come back?
Why do we need an extra layer to just say she doesn't want to be on stream? My God, man. It's so ridiculous.
Content. You know what I'm going to say? Ask the detractors.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, then I'll just say that Kat hates Phil so much. She doesn't want to be seen with him. She's embarrassed to be around Phil. That's why she's not on stream, guys. She's not on stream because she's embarrassed, and DSP may or may not have killed her. No, I don't want to spread that. That's a little too toxic. Yeah, I'll just stick with she's embarrassed to be around him. That's why. She doesn't want to be on stream because she's embarrassed.
Okay, ask those loserish stalkers who won't stay the fuck out of our personal lives. You ask them when they're gonna grow up and move on and get a fucking life, and when they do, she'll come back. That's your answer. The moment that the losers stop fucking...
I got another banger. She's not gonna show up in his content because she's busy having a job. Think about it. She can't, leave her job to show up during his work hours. That's impossible. She's working a retail job, so it's super harsh for her to even get days off. So, come on. She's already at work. That's why she's not there. Wow, I'm finding other better responses for why Kat can't show up on stream than DSP, her, husband, I guess.
Being stalker losers, she will come back to the content. So let's see.
She's busy having a job. She can't show up. That's why, man.
It's direct cause and effect. There you go. Continuing on. I think a replay of either Arkham Origins or Night would be good in an interactive style. It would be great to watch. All right, thank you for that suggestion.
Let's hear that again.
Continuing on. I think a replay of either Arkham Origins or Night would be good in an interactive style. It would be great to watch. All right, thank you for that suggestion.
All right, thank you. Okay. See how dumb these suggestion box shit is? It's not even, like, critically thinking about it.
Suggestion? I keep telling you guys, suggesting random games is not going to help. We've already talked about this.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop reading these random game suggestions, okay?
He read the other one and it was like, oh, okay, man. And then the rest, it was just like, oh, okay. But, Anlead brought up, and I didn't think about this, that he has a, in the suggestion box, rule number 2 is to bring up games. He asked for it, and people give it to him. Oh, no.
Excuse me.
Oh.
I've noticed certain YouTubers opt for limited supply runs when it comes to merch. Typically, they last a couple of weeks to a month. This approach effectively creates a sense of scarcity.
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead
for 2 weeks, and then the campaign closes, and no one can buy the merch anymore, right? But I'll be honest. No, I don't think that would work. I think that literally the moment that I announced that any merch store was open, the trolls would immediately go there and bombard that business with bullshit.
And again, there's zero risk for him to do this. It's not like they're gonna charge him money for being canceled. Like, he acts as if he opens the store, and if they decide to close the store, they're gonna then send an invoice. Okay, Phil, since you opened a store and we told you that we don't want business with you, you have to pay us $1,000. Like, just do it. Fuck it. All that could happen. Worst case scenario, Phil, you make $0. Best case scenario, you make $5. Wow.
And as much as you say, oh, it wouldn't affect it, I think it would. I think that these businesses would react within a matter of a few days. And what's to stop them?
So then he can make a few money in a few days. Pretty cool, huh?
I'm just freezing the store, canceling orders, nothing. Like I said, if I'm going to work with a merch company, I need to absolutely be sure they are on board, that they're not going to kowtow and bend over to a bunch of trolls trying to employ falsified cancel culture. We show up in a tizzy because this content creator said this thing.
Falsified cancel culture. I mean, sure, there's a lot of concerned trolls out there that, do shit, but at the same time, how does he know who is being legit and who isn't? You know what I mean?
You're quoting is 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That's not something that I do now. But you act like it's today because you're trying to get me canceled for shit I did 15 years ago. That even back then wasn't that bad, right? Like,
the Nazi jokes weren't that bad. I mean, if you just watch it, I don't think it was. I thought it was pretty bad. How can you say it wasn't that bad? Maybe you should rewatch it. Someone should nominate it for DSP Reacts.
What are you talking about? But that's it. These companies are dumb as dirt. They just don't want to deal with any complaints. So the moment a complaint comes in, we don't want to deal with it. Cancel it. Get rid of it. Right? So that's what I mean. That's what would have to happen, is we'd have to work with a company that is agreeing up front, no, we're not going to listen to this bullshit from your fucking haters. Instead, we're just going to allow you to have a shop like
again, if they agree to that, how do they know who's a hater and who isn't, though? Like, this is really stupid. He's kind of telling him, don't listen to my haters, as if it's like a name. It's like telling him, hey, you're going to get a tweet from Mitch, and he's going to say that I'm a piece of shit. Don't listen to him. Okay. I mean, at least I'm, like, narrowing it down to one dude. But he's saying, my haters. Like, what does that mean? Like, what's the company supposed to take that as? Like, any complaints are just your haters? Like, you use some critical thought there, buddy.
everybody else. It doesn't matter how long. We're not going to try to fool the company. Oh, let's do a 2-week limited run campaign and try to get the merch out fast before they cancel me. That's a stupidity. That's stupidity. I want a company that I can...
What?
Oh, let's do a 2-week limited run campaign and try to get the merch out fast before they cancel.
This is really stupid. The limited campaign has nothing to do with being canceled or at all, and it just works the way anything else works. And he's not even doing the packaging. It's someone else doing it. So he's making it sound as if it's more crazy than it actually is.
Me. That's a stupidity. That's stupidity. I want a company that I can work with and I can have new designs, and you're not just doing it for a flash in the pan sale and then you run off the site before something happens. That's dumb. I'm not doing that. All right? If we ever find a company that actually wants to work normally, I say yes, but I don't know. Right now, certainly the only companies that I've found, they basically want you to have a giant following. Like I said, I found a company and they'll work with people, but you have to have 1 million subscribers. I don't have 1 million subscribers. Even across all my channels and all my social media, at most, and all the freebie companies are a bunch of, I hate to say it, very liberal idiots.
Liberal idiots. All these companies. How does he know? He doesn't even know. And like, what does that even mean? So you have to find a Republican to sell your shirts? What? You should talk to Trump then. Why not?
You're just giving haters because they're moronic. So there's nothing I can do. Okay?
I mean, how does he know Redbubble is a bunch of liberal people? How does he know that? Like, if he's not such a political guy, then why? Like, this is dumb. Whatever.
Okay.
Just say you don't want to do
in
it.
real life streams in Washington. In real life streams are popular.
No.
I haven't seen anyone do one in Washington yet. Do haunted streams. Streams where people go to haunted houses and try to catch ghosts.
Ghosts.
Well, you guys already know, again, and we've talked about this, right?
It's illegal.
There's a very good reason why I don't do IRL streams. My haters, my stalkers, they're nuts. And if I were to...
It's so funny, back on Twitch, he said it was illegal. He kept telling us,
I can't just go to a store and film myself in a store. That's illegal, man.
and now he's saying it's the troll's fault. Again.
Do a stream of me going around, showing what I'm doing during a day. First of all, that's incredibly intrusive to my private life.
Oh, we didn't say to film yourself doing private errand stuff. You could just film yourself like... The dude didn't even say, do an IRL stream of you doing your errands. He didn't even say that. He just said, do an IRL stream in Washington. Which could be anything. You could do an IRL stream, like, in a national park and just hang out with the animals.
To have a day a week where I'm not mixing my business with my private, you understand? I want to have that separation on purpose, so that way we don't have to have too much crossover and too much private stuff exposed, because people, you know, fuck around. Again, I tell you guys things that have happened, and I keep telling you this.
Okay, why doesn't he do an IRL stream in a place he doesn't, like, shop at? Why don't you do that?
Examples, because a lot more fucked up stuff has happened, but the perfect example here.
Oh, more fucked up stuff has happened. Wow.
Years and years ago, I'm in my kitchen, and I'm filming the vlog.
Alright, we're just gonna skip ahead.
To turn off your power. I didn't request anything on my countertop. Alright? Having the name of my electric company on it. Someone calls the electric company, gives them my basic information. The electric company is dumb as dirt. Social engineering, they believe.
How is it dumb if they called you to double check? Whatever.
And they were going to turn my fucking power off. If I didn't have email notifications set up, I would have had no power. And who knows how long it would have taken to turn it back on, right? And this is what fucked up people do. Now imagine me going around in town doing my stuff. I'm going grocery shopping. I go to the pet store. Imagine these fuckers following us on the internet. They'd put in prank calls. They'd put in all kinds of shit to try to fucking cause problems. The same thing they do to Ice Poseidon and other people like that. They do the same thing to me. Why would I put myself into that level of personal risk? For what? To do an IRL stream with 1,000 viewers? Who fucking cares? Right?
But if you're doing nothing illegal,
that doesn't make any sense at all. Where is the personal benefit of that? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why.
And again,
whatever.
That example, the reason that I keep telling you that example.
But again, like, look how weak he is. He can't just not say, I'm not interested in doing IRL streams. He needs to have, like, some prophetic narrative as to why. Like, it's some kind of anime. Like, dude, just say you're not interested in it. Come on.
Is because that's something that happened many years ago, and that's just an old example. People have absolutely positively tried a million things to fuck with me since then, but I'm not going to talk about those because giving them attention just spurns on more bad actions. You understand?
But if it's still going on though, right? Then I don't think they care if you say it or not. Then, correct?
Yeah, it's not worth mentioning anything else these idiots have done. Okay?
It's okay. Really funny. He can supposedly ignore this stuff that's going on that we don't know about, but the stuff that we do know about, he can't possibly ignore. It's really funny how that works out. Okay.
Okay, continuing on.
Continue.
DSP React Suggestions, a pop culture podcast about movies, TV, and books in place of the Level 1 podcast every Sunday. I don't think...
What?
DSP React Suggestions, a pop culture podcast about movies, TV, and books in place of the Level 1 podcast every Sunday. I don't think I watch enough movies, read enough TV.
Bruh. He watched Invincible and still hasn't done a review for it. I got an idea, DSP. This is gonna be a crazy idea. It's gonna be fucking ludicrous, right? Why don't you do these little movie reviews in your podcast? Bum, bum, bum. You can just do them during your podcast. He watched Invincible. He could do the Invincible review in his podcast. Get rid of whatever useless segment, Aka, the schedule segment. Get rid of the schedule segment, say goodbye to it, and just do movies or whatever. Why doesn't he do that? Or, even super better yet, get rid of the Q&A. Because you already do Q&A with tips and super chats, and maybe you could do some freebies. But why not just do the reviews during your podcast as it is? He used to kind of do that sometimes. But whatever, okay.
Or excuse me, I don't think I watch enough movies or TV or read enough books to do a podcast about it. Just being honest. It's not a matter of doing a podcast. It's a matter of all the time investment that would go into running that show. I would have to watch a significant amount of stuff every week to have something to talk about, right?
Right.
And that's the problem. Is
he watches stuff with Kat. Why not just talk about... Oh, no, that's personal. That's personal and private. But we can know they watch YouTubers, but we don't know which ones. But they all suck and they all make mistakes and they die by the bear in God of War. So that's okay. But we cannot possibly talk about anything else.
Right now, I just don't have the time. Like, for example, I haven't even had the time in the last week to film that review of Invincible Season 1. I watched it last week. I'm ready to go. I just don't have time to...
But you don't have... But you can do it on the podcast. The dude said review stuff on the podcast. I watched season 1 of Invincible. I don't have any time to watch anything else. This dude is so bad at problem solving. It's incredible. Like, he can't even do basic problem solving. Basic. It is ridiculous how bad he is. And you see that every time when something goes wrong, what do? I mean, it's like you have a phone, like it's the iPhone, right? And if an app stops working the way it's supposed to, he would not know what to do. He wouldn't even think of trying to force close the app to reopen it. He wouldn't even consider it. Ugh.
Tonight, after my stream, I have to set up my playlists for tomorrow's React show. Don't have time to film. Tomorrow night, I have to film the private React videos for my patrons for the month. I don't have time to film. You know what I mean? Like, when you're already here all day, every day, I have so little free time as it is outside of this office. I don't have the extra time to do all this extra shit to do a 10 of extra shows. Just think about this. Every day I run a podcast. Every day I do 2 major streams. If you add up all the time I put into there, I'm working 10 to 12 hours a day. All right? Already.
Who's calling?
Now you got to factor in time to food.
Oh, spam.
Time to do things around the house. Spend some time with my family. Time for sleep. When do I have time to do
Wait, what?
12 hours a day? All right? Already. Now you got to factor in time to food. Time to do things around the house. Spend some time with my family.
Time to food. I want to hear this again.
I'm working 10 to 12 hours a day. All right? Already. Now you got to factor in time.
Okay, 10 hours right to work. Oh my god. Why? Why? It's the same number. Shut up. Stupid spam. Okay, let's calculate this. So he starts at 10:45. 11:45. By that time, he's still talking. 12:45. Let's just say he's doing gameplay from then till 4 p.m. So that's what, 5 hours? Let's see. Like 5 hours. Let's say, fuck it. I'll just say 5 hours. Fuck it. 4 to 5, right? And then he has 2 hours of the night stream. 4 hours. Like, fuck, I'm gonna round down. Fuck you. 4 hours and 2 hours at night. So that's 6 hours of streaming. Just pure streaming. Uploading. I mean, how long does it really take to hit upload? And then select a group of files. And he does that after the stream, so he already has all the videos that he needs to just hit to pick and then upload. Like, he has everything already set up. And then he just puts in the information. Like, that's like what, 30 minutes at most? Like, that's the max, I would say. And then another 30 minutes, being generous, to do the uploads for the night. And then he does like 10 minutes, so like whatever, that's still 30 minutes. Fuck it. That's like another hour. So 6, 7 hours. Okay, whatever.
Food. Time to do things around the house. Spend some time with my family. Time for sleep. When do I have time to do more shit? I'm one man. Doing all, I can't do all that, you know? I appreciate.
Again, why doesn't he just review movies in his podcast? Like, it's insane. He just said that, oh, people like talk about stuff in their podcast, man. Why don't you talk about the movies you watch on your podcast? Like Invincible. No, of course not.
That people would want to see me do a pop culture show. I don't have time to do it. The only way I could do another show is cutting something else out. So what gameplay do you want me to cut out a week to have time to watch pop culture stuff to do a pop culture podcast? Right?
Okay, so why does he need to do a pop culture podcast when he has the Level 1 podcast? Now, before DSP says, well,
The Level 1 podcast is about gaming.
okay, what games does he talk about? He talks about schedule, okay. He talks about his day off segment. Day off segment is not a gaming related topic, Phil. And he had some news stories about Twitter. Twitter isn't gaming. It's not a gamer news. So, and then he does Q&A, which can be about many things, and he talks about food. Suggestion box, that's not gaming related. So why can't the Level 1 podcast be a hub for pop culture stuff too?
Okay. More long-form React.
Whatever.
React to stuff that can be covered in a normal stream, not a marathon. So you're saying react to like a video, like maybe an hour video, and you know my React would take 2-3 hours and do it as one stream. See, that I think would be beneficial. Admittedly, I think that with the clip show that we do every week, because we limit myself to
Okay.
essentially doing
Yeah.
clips. We can never really watch anything long form.
Uh-huh.
I can never really watch a documentary or anything. And that's why we were doing the marathons. We were doing the long form react shows. And they were working, but then when we did them, they took away from the streaming and people complained, oh, you're not streaming games enough. You're too behind on games. You're not doing enough game-related stuff. So I stopped doing them. Like, I stopped doing the long form marathon.
The long form marathons, he stopped doing them around the time when games were coming out that he wanted to play. Very funny that how that coincided, right?
This year, as people were complaining that they didn't want
Man,
as
it's
much
almost
as
like
that.
he only does it when there's nothing going on. Wow.
This is hilarious. Motorized fan says you take a 3-hour break between streams. So let me get this straight. My stream goes off at 4 p.m. That just means it's immediately break time, right? I'm not sitting in here uploading all those videos, setting up the next streams. I don't get...
He already sets up the next stream, though. Like, he already does it. Like, if you go there now, he already has the whole weekend set up. Whatever, okay.
Out of this office till after 4:30. Then I go downstairs, I eat dinner with my wife, all right? Then, essentially, I'll sit there maybe for like a half an hour and relax with my wife, maybe clean up the house. And then I'm up here by around 6, setting up the next stream. So I basically get a 1-hour break between streams. 1 hour is what I get between.
What?
And then I'm up here by around 6, setting up the next stream. So I basically get a 1-hour break. Uploading all those videos, setting up the next streams. I don't get out of this office till after 4:30.
Okay. Wow, I was kind of shooting in the dark for 30 minutes. Everything he did, he said he gets out in 30 minutes. And he sets up the next stream in that 30 minutes. Now get a load of this.
And I go downstairs, I eat dinner with my wife, all right? Then, essentially, I'll sit there maybe for like a half an hour and relax with my wife, maybe clean up the house. And then I'm up here by around 6, setting up the next stream.
Setting up the next stream. DSP, you just said you set up the next stream during that 30 minutes after 4 o'clock. And you're setting up another stream? And setting up a stream is not even that hard. You could just go to studio, hit create stream and all this stuff. Like, it's really not that hard. He acts as if he's like building a set every time he does a stream. He's building up a set, and he isn't. Oh, this dude, man.
So I basically get a 1-hour break between streams. 1 hour is what I get between streams. But you think I get a 3-hour break. That's because you're a fucking idiot. You don't live the life. You're just a complete fucking mouth drooler moron who just wants to belittle. Just like the idiot who says I run a 3-hour podcast. You're also a moron. All these fucking idiots who just want to over-exaggerate to try to prove a point, and their points...
This dude over-exaggerated 30 minutes of work, by the way. Like, 30 minutes. Like, 30 minutes. He described what he does in 30 minutes, and we are the idiots here. Like, dude, 30 minutes is nothing. You can do that, like... That's, like, nothing. It's nothing work.
Completely wrong. You're just an idiot. Everything you say is incorrect, but you circle jerk yourselves into believing this stuff is fact. It's not. You're moronic. You're really stupid. I'm sorry for how dumb you are and for your whole family to have to put up with you.
Wow.
Okay.
Does it really have to be really that toxic over this? And wasn't he just saying he just what? Oh, it was for reacts. Yeah, that's right. And he agreed with him, and then decided to be negative to him all of a sudden. He could just say, "Oh, we don't have time." Whatever.
Reaction should be uploaded to the channel. That I cannot do. When someone for how dumb you are and for your whole family to have to put up with you. Okay. Patron reaction should be uploaded to the channel. That I cannot do. When someone gets a private reaction.
That is kind of dumb in a way because, but I guess what he should have said, or at least could have asked, is, well, maybe what we could do is I ask the patron if they want to be public, and then he, whatever. He could just do that, right? Correct? Whatever.
It's their legal property. Any of that, if you do the $50 pledge to my Patreon, I should say, and you get a private video, whether it's a Q&A video, a react video, whatever it is, That's your legal property to do whatever you want with. I don't have the right to own that. You bought it. So I don't have the right to do that with that, sadly. Okay?
You could just ask the person, hey, do you want this to be public?
One last thing, and then we'll get to shout-outs.
Whatever. Why do that?
Use a simple on-screen promo to easily promote engagement of the channel. Let me see what this is, because I didn't see it.
Promo?
So, essentially, the upvote symbol, subscribe, and a bell. Okay?
Oh my god.
They link the file on Google Drive in the video description. You can load the video into OBS, use the green screen feature to remove the background, and play this video at the beginning of each YouTube recording you do. Similar to how you manually play the tip animations, except you only do this once per hour. It's one way to remind the audience without having to load your videos into an editing program to add them.
But you know damn well. Let's say he does this, right? He has that little animation. You know he's gonna hit it and tell you it at the same time, because he can't possibly let you assume that you have the brain power to realize what the thumbs up means, what the subscribe button means, and what the bell icon means. He will have to tell you, alright guys, it's time to remind you guys, okay? Hit subscribe, hit like, subscribe, and the bell. And he would even point at it too. He'd be like, guys, remember, it's time to, okay, boop, hit the animation. Like, and then subscribe, and then hit the bell. Because he does the fucking, DSP, youtube.com/DSP Reacts. He does that corny shit, so he'll do that too. I mean, come on, it's DSP.
So what you're saying is have it in OBS and every once in a while just click it to have it run on a video that I'm already recording. I mean, I could do that. Does it really help? When you see, right now, if a big thumbs up appeared and a big subscribe button appeared in the corner, would you subscribe or click like?
I mean, this is also the guy who tells us to like the stream and then do all this stuff for engagement purposes all the time. Like, come on. Come on, you're pretty much the humanoid version of that.
Should I just say, hey guys, if you like the content, please remember, give it a like. Please remember, maybe become a member of the channel. That helps. Consider subscribing.
So, showing you icons that wouldn't help. That would be stupid. But saying the same thing verbally to you that takes more time than just clicking one button, it makes more sense. Okay, DSP, you're such a good problem solver.
We see the effectiveness of it, especially because everyone does it. You know what I mean? Like, if this were an idea where not a lot of people did it, but since literally every other fucking YouTuber does that at this point, I feel like it wouldn't be effective. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really an original thing anymore. It's something, if you watch other YouTubers, almost every other YouTuber does it.
Okay, what original thing does DSP do? He has backgrounds, he has LED lights, that's what other YouTubers do. He has a layout, other YouTubers have that. What does he do that's original, that makes him stand out? Oh, he puts on clothes. Oh, wow.
Right? So I don't know how effective it would be. You're right. It's easy. Like you said, I could probably get that video clip. I think that person actually even linked it in the suggestion. And just every once in a while, just hit the button, I guess, here on my OBS, and it would play in the corner or whatever. I mean, that's up to you guys if you really think that would be effective.
You guys,
I don't think so. I think, the way I see it, I've been around for 15 years, right? And I have an established viewer base, and yes, we get people who come by. Most people who come by to check me out already know about me. And a lot of people are already here just to be curious, is what people say about Phil true? And a lot of people say, no, it's not, right? So already, if you're...
I thought no one gives him a chance. He told us during the Tricky Tom stuff that no one gives him a chance. But now he's telling us people give him a chance. Wow.
Already here with that investigative, inquisitive feeling, you're already apt to probably become a subscriber or click a like. If you're already here for that, right? It's not like, oh,
wait, what?
Positive feeling.
Just
People are already here just to be curious. Is what people say about Phil true? And a lot of people say no, it's not, right? So already, if you're already here with that investigative, inquisitive feeling, you're already apt to probably become a subscriber or click a like.
That sounds really fucking weird.
You're already here for that.
You're already here for
right?
that.
It's not like, oh, I was just randomly searching on YouTube and I discovered DSP Gaming on a whim, and I don't know who they are. Oh, look, I'm being reminded that maybe I should subscribe if I like this video. I don't think that happens. My video.
So he only gets people who are inquisitive, but no one else? He doesn't get any new viewer that never heard of him? Okay.
Because my channel's been around for so long, you know?
Yeah,
but I guess we'll...
But that's a weird thing to say, because there's always new viewers. There's always new people coming to websites. Like, does he think that whatever's out there is out there forever and everyone knows? Like, everyone's born with the knowledge of what's out there? Oh, whatever. Okay.
See? Right? It's up to you guys. What do you think? So anyway, that's going to conclude our suggestion segment for this stream.
Alright, now let's get to the other suggestion segment. Yes. And this one will be a little bit more fun, because, you know.
Like to do, at least with a little bit of extra time, because we have a couple shout outs to do so far, not too many. But with a little bit of extra...
Yet again, the suggestion box is just thrown in last minute. Of course.
Time we have.
That's how much it matters to him. It's the last thing he thinks of.
I would like to delve back into the realm of the suggestion box. Maybe for like 20 minutes here while we have some time, okay? This is a thread that you guys posted up in over the course of October. And what we've been trying to do is go back to this thread once in a while to get ideas, okay? Okay.
But every idea he gets, he just says either... It's been either no, or he just reads it and then moves on. It's really just a pure, like, I think initially when I was thinking of doing this video, it was just like just highlighting how much he refuses to do anything. And it's like, it's actually worse. It's actually factually worse, because at least turning ideas down is at least acknowledging that they're ideas and that just either won't work or he doesn't want to do them. At least he's acknowledging them. But every suggestion has just been either no or okay, and that's it. Like, no acknowledgement, nothing to add, nothing to build on, just no. Like, that's how lame he is. Like, this dude is not creative at all. He is given an idea, and he thinks that he only just wants to be given an idea to just use immediately. Just the idea as is. He doesn't want to read these ideas and just kind of think about them and do whatever. And he probably needs to be told to do that, probably, knowing him. This is like, it's such a wasted segment on a dude that really wants to brag about listening to feedback. But all the feedback he's been listening to, it's just in one ear out the other.
Now.
Now.
Let's do it, okay? Perhaps a fundraising stream once every 3 months where you ask all your members to decide on a charity they would like the funds to accumulate to go toward. You could gain a much better following from not only other donors of the charity, but also around the internet in general. Over time, I believe you would achieve an impressive amount of growth in viewership and a much more diverse community. The possibilities of giving so much back are endless, I'm quite sure, being that you have such a positive group of supporters that would be on board. This is just a thought. Will a diverse
community help him in reality?
So, charity is the idea. Now, first off, all right, I have an incredibly large group of negative hate watchers who follow me all around. Okay.
Immediately, we gotta talk about the. Oh my god, this is a great face. I cannot let this one slide. This little smirk, it's really like he sees money, like he sees an opportunity. That's the face he gives when he sees a potential whale in chat. You see someone that might give him a lot of money?
They would do anything they possibly could at any moment to ruin something like that. So, in order to even consider to plan any kind...
He claimed that he was going to do a charity event in 2015, but then the trolls attacked him with the false copyright strikes, the DDoSing, and all this stuff, which is really, really weird, right? Correct? Because why would that affect him? And again, he acts as if, like, trolls would do that, but what troll would want to brag about ruining a charity? Yes, we troll Phil, we ruined the charity. Yes. Who would do that? I mean, maybe someone really evil, but I mean, but then they would just get more people to be upset at them. I mean, like, who would do this? Like who?
Kind of a charity event, it would have to be a situation where it's foolproof.
All that would happen, honestly, the only trolling that would happen is people literally calling his hypocrisy out. Phil, you said that charity is a private thing. Why are you doing a stream of charity? That would be the trolling. That would be the trolling. Literally asking him what changed. He would consider that trolling.
I say, well, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
It means that this has to be an event that when I'm doing it, there's no way that a bunch of idiots could go out there and find a way to get it shut down or fuck with it. All right? So how could I do that? So I would say, number one, all right, whatever charity event this would be, any funds, any donations raised have to go directly to that charity immediately. We would have to find a situation.
There is literally many ways of people doing it. Like Tevin does it, and Elite does it. Like everyone has. It's just purely he just simply doesn't want to do it, which is fine. You don't have to do a charity stream, but he doesn't need a grandiose reason. He could just say, "I don't want to do a charity stream," and that's it. I mean, people are gonna say whatever they're gonna say, but it's better than listening to like a whole story about it.
Situation where I am not a middleman. I would never want to handle any money whatsoever that has to go to a charity. All right? There's just too many problems there. There's problems when it...
Look at Gerard, man. Look what happened to him. He did that charity, and look what happened. The trolls fucked with him.
One day we're gonna get a DSP segment talking about it, and he's gonna find a way to just fumble the ball. No matter what, he's gonna say something, be it in defense of Gerard or against Gerard. He's gonna say something that's gonna fumble the ball, and it's just gonna be like, wow, you don't get it, man.
Comes to claiming the income for tax purposes, there's problems of people who are gonna obviously outright say shit like, "Oh, Phil,
this dude has a tax guy though. Wouldn't they know? Correct? Come on."
lied and didn't give the money to the charity and shit like that, right?" So we would have to figure something out so that it would have to be a foolproof direct donation scenario. So maybe there are ways to do that. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to say, oh, you're doing a campaign for a charity, and you could create like a web page, and you could advertise that web page during a marathon stream. And if people want to contribute, they contribute to the web page. The web page will show how many people donated to the charity specifically and stuff like that.
I guess there's a way. If there's a way that you can go to another website and list all these ways, he doesn't know, guys. Man, I want to like go somewhere in like a reasonable amount of time. I wish like, I don't know, maybe we could build a device that has like wheels, like 4 wheels, just in case, so that way like you can move forward, and then like there's a seat, and then there's a little belt you put on that like locks you down so you're not like flailing around, and then like there's a steering wheel and a gas pedal. The gas is used to like give the car momentum and power and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I wish there was something like that. But I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know, man. We gotta find a way to do this. We gotta find a way to invent this.
I don't really know how it works. I've never done that before. You see?
See?
So I don't know how that would happen. You know what I'm saying?
I
don't know how it works.
How would it go?
I honestly don't know.
How does it work?
But I would never, ever want to be the person who says, I'm going to collect money and have it sit in my accounts, and then I'm going to give it to charity. That would be the biggest, dumbest move. I'd have to be a complete fucking idiot to do any...
Okay, honestly, I'm going to say it. He's talking about Gerard. Guarantee. He's low-key shitting on him. Which is whatever. I mean, you know what's going on with Gerard. It's not like, hard to find out. But it's so obvious because he's been given this question multiple times, and he never once mentioned any money sitting in an account and all this stuff. But the Gerard stuff happens, and now suddenly he's like, I don't want to be the middleman. That'd be so stupid. It'd be so stupid ever. You'd be the dumbest motherfucker ever. You'd be so stupid. Oh my god, you'd be so stupid. It's so obvious he's talking about Gerard. In the most subtle way. Like, did Gerard do something to DSP to piss him off? Like, is this like a light Cobra attack that he's doing right now? Like, is this... Remember what he said? If you wronged him, he's gonna attack like the Viper or whatever the fuck. Is this what it would look like?
Charity like that. Seriously, I'd have to be superbly dumb.
Superbly
because that's
dumb.
just setting myself up for failure and problems, especially with the amount of haters and shit that I have out there. That would never work. All right? So,
But what if it
the
did?
question is, how would it work?
You know what?
I don't know.
What if it did? Imagine he does that the charity that way, and it actually works flawlessly. Like everyone gets the money. It's the most smooth charity ever. Meanwhile, everyone else it's like a nightmare. But DSP did it, and it worked flawlessly. and the trolls, they lose. They factually lose. Oh, this is another good face I don't want to lose. It looks kind of creepy. It kind of reminds me of that one Sonic fan art of him. The really creepy looking one.
That would have to be something that's researched and figured out. Now, there's another thing, another wrinkle here. Again, because I have so many hate watchers and assholes out there, like, how do you figure out? Seriously, how do you figure out how to pick a proper charity? Because I hate to say it,
Bruh.
a lot of people...
I have a lot of trolls. How would I pick a charity? I mean, a lot of it has to do with reading. I mean, that's a good place to start. Maybe try reading the charity. Find a website. Google the website saying, hey, is this a good charity? Try to, or better yet, find a streamer that uses that charity and see how it worked out for them. I mean, you could do basic research. You have the internet on your phone. Your little iPhone can connect to the internet, Phil. While you're eating your food, you can just kind of pull it up and then just research. Huh.
Feel that a lot of these charities are fake and or they're not as charitable as they claim.
Charitable.
You got a charity that looks well-intentioned, sounds like a good idea. You raise money, you give it to them, and then you find out 6 months, 8 months down the road, oh, by the way, they keep 85% of contributions, and they claim it's operating costs. Only 10%, 15% of what you actually raised goes to help people. The rest just goes to keep their company running. And it's like, wait, what?
What?
Obviously, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I intended. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever we would look into, if we were going to do something charity, would have to be something reputable, something where you know that a lot of the money that's being raised is going to go towards the actual cause and not just to fucking have people get paid. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Side note, I want to keep bringing this up sometimes because it always like it's wild to me. During the Save the House arc of DSP's career, Kekin literally offered to do a charity stream for DSP. Like, man, I'm tempted to find the clip. I think it might still be up somewhere, but I just remember, DSP read Kekin's image like. Because Kicken said like, oh, this is awful, Phil, because this is during when he kept telling us that he's gonna lose the house. I just want to do a charity stream to help out. He's like, I don't want to hear that, man. You don't need to do a charity stream. And I was like, dude, that's so fucking weird. That someone that he was gonna that someone was gonna do a charity stream to help Phil. I just think about that sometimes. Like, I could be playing Guilty Gear and randomly I'll just be thinking about like, oh yeah, Kekin wanted to do a charity stream to help Phil save the house.
This is what I mean. There's so many things involved in a charity event that a lot of people don't think about. A lot of people just think, oh, charity event, just fucking turn on your stream and raise money and you're done. Oh, it's so good. Why don't you just do it? Right? Because it's not. It's very complicated. All right, here's another wrinkle. And this is something that people probably don't even think about.
Oh my god.
You guys know about the amount of hate that I get on the internet and the amount of slander.
Okay.
You also know that most of it's bullshit. Yes, some of it is based on nuggets of truth. But for example, 2-3 years ago, there was this internet campaign by my hate watchers
my god.
to get me kicked out of anything possible. So they formulated a whole package, like a whole like promo video of really toxic, negative stuff.
I want to see this video. I want to find it. DSP should get a data leak, and I want to see this promo video. Just imagine how it would look. It's like, it has like some bumping music, like it's like DSP, the most problematic streamer imaginable, and it shows like the first thing it cuts to, hello, man. You know the clip. Hello, Juice. It starts off with that. Like that's the opening bit. Hello, Juice. And then it goes from there. Oh man. And then ends with the N word, and then it has that Christmas picture of Phil smiling. It's the picture of him that sweater, like the image of him that he uses as the outro for Christmas time, like that. That's the last thing you see.
About me, and most of it applied to like 10, 15 years ago. It doesn't apply to modern day Phil of anything in the past 6 to 7 years. This is like old Phil back in the day. You know, some of the racial jokes I used to make. Yes, that stupid Nazi joke that I made that's infamous that I've apologized for 1,000 times. So they turn this into a package.
He didn't apologize though. He like the only time I could even like think about it was just a very off the cuff kind of bullshit apology. Like he just kind of flew it off. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm sorry that you guys like took it the wrong way, man," or whatever the fuck. He always gives like some bullshit apology, but it was like never really meaningful. And now it's really too late, because if he does it now, let's say, it would just come off fake. Like and it's like that's the thing. It's like if he did it now, how many people would believe it? Like that's how bad a bad faith narrator DSP is. That's where he is now. It's hard to take him seriously.
And they send it to companies. Why would you want to do business with this man? Look how awful he is, right? And look what happened. I got kicked out of several different companies. Literally for things that I did 10, 15 years ago.
You should kick him out then.
What's to stop them from doing that with a charity? Right? Are you really going to accept funds from this man? Look what he's done in the past. And there's a situation, a serious situation.
Has there been a situation where a charity turned money down because the dude was problematic? Has that ever happened? I don't think it would. The most that happens is that they just say the person who donated the money is doing it for fake reasons and clout. Like, that's the most that happens out of it. They don't go to the charity and tell the charity to get rid of them.
Where charity could get a bunch of complaints and say, well, we're not going to take this seriously. We're going to ban this guy. He's not going to be able to raise charity for us because we don't want to accept funds from someone who's considered someone like this on the internet, right? Even though the things they're saying about me are not valid in the present day at all, they're not representative of who I am or anything, they could do that, right? And I would not be surprised if that's exactly what would happen. Like, let's say I announced today that I was going to do, a child's play charity. A child's play, for those who don't know, you raise funds and it's...
Okay, we don't need to hear what that is.
You know, treatments or life-saving maneuver, whatever it is, right?
Life-saving maneuvers.
It's a valid charity. People have raised lots of money for this, and kids, trying to go through horrible times in their lives. So what if I said that's what we're going to do, right? And so here's the page, and immediately they start bombarding child's... Oh, you're going to have this guy, this vile guy do it, and here's all the things he's ever done wrong. I could literally be turning on the stream midstream and be told, sorry, we're not accepting it because we got too many people complaining, so we're turning it off, right?
Right?
So, here's the deal.
Here's the deal. The deal is thus.
You say, why don't you just do charity? Well, first of all, I don't even like how this guy suggested it, because you heard what he said.
Oh my god, he says all this, and then he's like, wait a second. I am a little too much of a victim here. I can make this into a brag segment. He went from making it be a victim segment, and then it was like, wait a second, this sounds a little silly. Now let's make it into a virtue signal segment. Like, what a transition.
Oh, if you do charity, it's going to make you look good. It's going to bring more positivity. More people will...
He just said pretty much, like, people would be happy to see you do charity or whatever the fuck. Like, he mentions, like, people have a better opinion of you or whatever. Like, whatever.
But in a positive light. That's not why you do charity. All right? I've told you, I was raised Roman Catholic. All right? Roman Catholicism teaches that charity...
Roman Catholicism, man. Ah, yes.
...is something that you do as a
Man, again, I don't remember the Greek school I went to, but I don't think they were this annoying, you know? But again, I don't remember if they spoke Greek and I didn't understand it, or I don't know. I just remember I went and I was bored. That's all I remember. And then we never did it again.
sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
All right? It means that instead of doing something that benefits you, you actively seek to give your time, your money, your belongings.
But, okay. Okay. Well, get a load of this, right? Correct? If it's such a because it makes them sacrifice. Now, of course, like, I don't think they mean literally oh, you have to like commit a sacrifice for charity or whatever the fuck. It's just saying like, oh, you just have to like take time out, out of your schedule to do stuff for charity, whatever, blah 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 blah. But DSP, if you get rid of your tip link, right? Correct? Get rid of the tip link and replace the tip link with a charity link. That's kind of a sacrifice, correct? And you can turn off super chats. You can do that too. But let's say we turn off tips, and the only tip link you get is the one to charity. That is technically a sacrifice, and he's taking time streaming to do it. I mean, already it's a sacrifice by that definition.
Whatever it may be, you sacrifice something to help others. It's supposed to be you're taking away from something that you could better be doing.
But like this is the other thing. This is the other thing that's kind of, it's really dumb he gets hung up on this by this whole like, oh, you're not doing it for this, you're doing it because you want to or whatever. But DSP, the opinion of, wow, DSP is really cool for doing a charity is not something you control. Like, you should want to do a charity stream, and whatever happens. Other people are going to form that opinion. The only reason, like, the Mr. Beast stuff, the reason why people, like, kind of dunk on him for when he does these charitable events is that he like, there are moments, like, he had a tweet or somewhere he said, like, he was upset that people were not giving him, like, the attention he deserved for doing charity. And it's like, well, if you were doing this for good reasons, then why should you care about how many people are making fun of you? Like that kind of shit. And it's stuff like that. I mean, with Mr. Beast is more of just like, I think it's more person to person. Some people can sit there and say Mr. Beast is like a philanthropic guy, or he's doing a charitable thing. But then people can say, well, it's kind of disingenuous. I mean, look what happens when people like make fun of him. He's kind of saying like, how dare this or whatever. But for DSP's case, that's not going to possibly happen. I mean, the trolls may say that, but again, it's because DSP made such a hard standing point of like bragging how he would never do charity to make himself look good. It's to the point that if he ever were to do it, people would call that out. And he fucking was going to do it in 2015. Like, why did... So that's another question that comes to mind. If he's such a Roman Catholicism guy, right? Then why was he teasing the idea in 2015 to do it if he's such a man of moral? Okay.
That would help you, but you give it to others instead. It's self-sacrifice. Since it's a self-sacrifice, it means that it's not supposed to benefit you in any way, shape.
The dude didn't say it was gonna benefit him, though. He just said that people were gonna be very like happy to see it or whatever the fuck. And these are just opinions. Like, that's not really a gain or anything. It's not a risk. It's you'll just get better opinion of you. Now, DSP, people are telling you, why not just do a charity stream? This is a little extra to say no. But he wants to make it sound like he's being such a nice guy by not doing it because he doesn't want the attention for doing it. Okay, good for you then. If that's the case, then just say, I don't want to do charity. I don't want to do a charity stream. Just do that, if that's the case.
Or form. At all. Alright?
Because at the same time, he says he doesn't want to do charity for any benefit or form at all, blah, 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 blah. But you can be pessimistic and sit there and say, well, isn't this kind of using this to make yourself look good? because he's pretty much saying I would never do something disingenuous. I don't want to do charity to be disingenuous. I only believe in ethical, genuine charity, and I feel that doing stream charities are disingenuous. I would never want to do that. Isn't that kind of virtue signaling and using charity in a way to get a better opinion of you? I mean, it's a roundabout thought process, to be fair, but I mean, if you're really pessimistic and cynical enough, you can think that.
Moment that I would say we're doing charity, right, here on the stream, that's something that benefits me. Why? Because people might say, good guy Phil, he's going to do this. He's going to actually do the right thing, and he's going to raise funds for so-and-so and so-and-so. But then people start to, well, that's good of him, and that benefits me. It does.
See how like, it's this kind of attitude that makes people like, because if he did do charity, it would be disingenuous. Because he's putting so much attention how people would perceive it. If he genuinely wanted to do a charity stream, then he would just do it. But he can't. He's so obsessed with what other people think of him, it just wouldn't be about that. Because you can already hear if he did it and then people say, wow, man, he's so disingenuous.
Okay, get this, right? My trolls, they said that I should do a charity stream, right? I do a charity stream, and look what's happening. They're saying that I am disingenuous. No, moron. I did the charity stream because you told me to.
So it's already kind of tainted. The well is already poisoned at this point, in my opinion. Like, so he just shouldn't do it. He should just drop it and move on. Because no matter what he does, it's gonna be tainted by disingenuous responses. Like, because again, that's what kind of tainted Mr. Beast to some people, is that they just don't think he's genuine. He was being disingenuous with the charity stuff he was doing, and then Mr. Beast focused on that, which made people double down on it, because it's like, well, if Mr. Beast is really charitable, why does he care what I think? Shouldn't he be doing it anyway? Like, it's that kind of shit. And he does it, and it's also the way he presents it too. Now, doing a stream in of itself isn't really bragging about it. You're just doing a stream and you have a charity stream. You're just like, wow, look at the money we made for this. Wow, that's so cool. That's way different than be like, yeah, guys, look what I did. I'm doing a charity stream, and look at this. We did this. Look how cool I am. I did this, man. And you then upload a video with your big giant face on it, and all this stuff, your name in the tags, all that kind of shit. Like, that would be kind of disingenuous. But just doing a stream that's for charity, it is what it is. Like, that's what it is. But it's just, the well's already tainted for DSP, in my opinion. Even if he did it, I don't think it's gonna pan out for him, because he's gonna have to deal with people bringing up, Phil, you have said that charity streams are against your morals, and why are you doing it now? And then he's gonna have to explain that, and then people are gonna look at that and then extrapolate from that. So he put himself in a losing battle already. But the only way out that he could do, let's say he does a charity stream next year, right, is literally just do the charity stream, and then that's it. He could say how cool it is that we hit the goals and all that stuff, and that's it. He doesn't have to talk about what other people think about it or what the trolls think about the charity stream, and just do that and move on. That could work. It's just it would be very hard for DSP to do that. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's in him to do that, because it's DSP. He can't ignore the trolls. He told us for years he would just ban the trolls, and we still get insults and all this kind of stuff. So it wouldn't work out for him.
So immediately, that's not.
And the other thing that's funny about this little grandstanding charity is sacrifice. Did he sacrifice when Twitch did charity with bits? Oh, because Twitch was doing the sacrificing, not him, so it's okay. Correct? Okay. But this dude, my God, I just want to harp on that little Twitch segment more. Because he literally was like bragging to people like, guys, right now it'd be great. Twitch is doing a charity event where whatever bits you give goes to charity, and I still keep the bit, but Twitch is helping a good cause. Do it for Twitch, man. Do it for charity. Yes, all the stuff. But he, like, my God, man.
Immediately, you could say that's philanthropy. That's different. That's a different term. You might argue that's philanthropy, but that's not charity. You see? So,
You see?
I hate to say it, anyone who does these kind of streams is not doing charity. They're doing philanthropy, which is fine. You could call it that. That's fine. But they're lying. Anyone who says, oh, it's a charity stream, it's not a charity stream. You don't know what charity means. Okay. You're miscategorizing the word.
All right. Guys, I'm going to do research. What does charity mean? Charity definition. An organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need. The charity provides practical help for homeless people. 2. The voluntary giving of help, typically in the form of money, to those in need. It doesn't say anything about sacrifice. Oh, but we all have to operate under the Roman Catholicism definition. Stupid me. I guess that's just me being Greek, right? Like, why does it... I just love that he wants to operate... We all have to operate under Roman Catholicism. Everyone. It's like how he sees December as Christmas month. We all celebrate Christmas. Oh my God, man. This dude...
For personal benefit. You're not giving, you're not sacrificing of yourself. You're asking funds from your viewers to go towards a good cause. Yes, you're giving up your time on a stream or whatever to raise those funds.
Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. He just told us that that charity is sacrificing your time. So streamers sacrificing their stream time to charity isn't charity? Huh? Oh, it's because they're doing it, like, in front of everyone. So clearly so he's kind of operating under the assumption that everyone's doing it for attention. I mean, sure, you could argue that, but you're assuming things about people. Like, again, if Mr. Beast didn't react the way he did and say, why aren't people, like, praising me for doing charity or whatever the fuck he said, then that's all it would have just become. That people saying that Mr. Beast is fake, it would just become a speculative description, and that's all it would be. But since he responded that way, more people started to see that as it is. That's completely different. And he's saying this assuming everyone who does stream charities, who do a charity event, are doing it for wrong reasons. How does he know that? And he brings up taxes. So with that logic, no charity you do is charity then if you're doing it as a tax write-off, correct? Like, it's just ridiculous. It's all ridiculous stuff.
But you are benefiting directly from it. It makes you look good. It boosts your image. It gives you positivity. It makes people like you more. That's not charity. Okay?
Would he say that about Critical? Because Critical, I don't know if he still does it, but I remember when I started watching way back before he did Facecam stuff, he would take YouTube ad revenue that he would make and he would put that into charity. Is that him being fake? I don't know, man.
So,
I mean, again, that's why, like, you know, you see that with Mr. Beast, but you don't see that with Critical, for example, because, you know, you don't, I don't really remember any time where Critical was, like, bragging about doing charity or complaining that people were not giving him props for doing charity. Like, I didn't see that coming from him. So I don't think that's the case for him. But okay. And again, all that stuff that's against the Roman Catholicism is only affecting the individual. So him doing just a charity stream isn't against that, unless he's doing it for those reasons. But if he's doing it to generally help someone, then it's not, you know, violating the sacred Roman Catholicism rules. Like, that's how dumb he is. But either he knows he would talk about it, or I don't know, or subconsciously he knows, because It's so obvious he would. You know he would brag about it. This dude brags about everything.
So, I've told you guys this over the years, over and over and over. I have. If I am going to do something that is charity, I will do it behind the scenes. I will never do it publicly on a stream, all right? Because to me, that's not charity. It's not a sacrifice. It's not something that truly helps. If it benefits me, then I'm only doing it to help me. This is why many, many years ago, I didn't do the ice bucket challenge, and everyone gave me shit for it. Oh my God. People gave me so much shit for it, and it was hard for me to
because he didn't understand it. And he kept saying that, oh, it didn't help anything, but it raised awareness. That was the whole point of it. And it helped the cause. It got people aware of what ALS is, and it got some people to donate.
To my beliefs and values at that time, because I told you guys I didn't want to do it. People were doing that literally for internet popularity. They weren't doing it to spread, you know, the
How
message.
does he know this? Does he have proof? My brother did it, and I don't think he's famous on the internet. I mean, unless my brother's hiding something from me. Like, maybe he is. Maybe my brother is a secret celebrity, and I just don't know it.
ALS, people doing it didn't even know what the fuck ALS was. They were just dumping ice on their fucking head.
But that's the point. They would see it, and then they're like, oh, what's it about? And they just kind of look it up. Whatever.
To say they're part of this meme. All right? And I refused to be a part of it.
And I think the way it worked was that you would do the ice bucket challenge. You would pour ice on your head or whatever, and then you would donate an amount, and then you would challenge people to do the same thing, and they would also put forward an amount. So they would have to give money to do it, and they were in freezing cold water. Okay.
And people hated me for it. But I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking around with this stuff. I know what's real charity and what's not. All right?
So then I got a question. Did he donate to that charity? Did he help ALS? If he's such a philanthropic guy, right? Did he just say, "Hey, this whole thing with the ice bucket challenge, that's stupid. I'm just going to give them the money instead." Did he do that? Or did he just say it's stupid and eat another burger? I'm saying he said it was stupid and ate another burger.
So, again, if I do stuff, it will be private, it will be behind the scenes, and it will be for the fact that I want to help people, not because I want to get something out of it. Literally, in this person's suggestion, they say, oh, but this is charity if it'll make you look good. Then I don't want to do it. If you want to come to my streams...
Okay, so then does that make you look like a charitable person? That you let some random guy say, hey, you look good to turn you away? If you're such a charitable person, wouldn't you want to do it anyway, regardless if it did or didn't look good? So in short, it shouldn't matter. That's what I'm saying, man. It wouldn't matter. If you truly care about the charity itself, then it shouldn't matter. This whole part would not be an issue, and you would just do it. But this dude wants to brag so bad that he does it behind the scenes because that's so much charity. And the only thing I could see him do is the old charity at the cash register, where they say, "Oh, do you want to donate $1 to this?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, man, okay, I did my part, cat." And that's it. That's what he does.
Support me for the content I put out, do that. If you want to support me because I'm a holdout from the old school YouTube that's not about drama and toxic shit, and you like the positivity on my streams, come do that.
And then he goes into this. This should be against Roman Catholicism, man. He went to bragging about how he doesn't do charity up front to then brag about how he's a holdover from old YouTube. And how we can support him. This dude is not real. Unreal. No way.
But I don't want you to come support my streams because I did a charity event. And I raised money for St. Jude's or something.
St. Jude's.
That's stupid. That's, again, I'm benefiting because of the misery of others.
What?
I find a way to spin that into benefit.
Misery of others? Huh? I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess technically in a roundabout way you could say it that way, but the money is going to help them. Whatever, okay.
How does that make any fucking sense?
I mean, with that logic, you could kind of say that DSP benefits off the misery of himself. You know what? That's what it is. DSP benefits from the misery of himself. Oh man, we have fun around here.
Okay? And this is the difference between me and a lot of people. A lot of people out there to this day, they love Mr. Beast. They think he's the best person on the planet.
Who says this? I mean, the only reason I can only see people say this towards DSP is to shit on DSP. Because, like, I don't think DSP really grasps why people like or dislike Mr. Beast over the charity thing. I don't think he genuinely grasps it.
I couldn't think of anything further from the truth for me. My belief system is completely against that. All right? It's okay if you like him, go ahead, watch his content or whatever. I'm not like that, man. I'm not. I'll do stuff behind the scenes for myself to help people. And I do, by the way, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what capacity it is. I'm not going to tell you any of that.
But isn't this doing it for attention, though? Think about it. He's telling you that he does it behind the scenes, and he doesn't burden you with the knowledge of doing it, but he does it. I do it, man. Isn't that you trying to fish for good opinions and all that stuff by saying you do some charity? Why not be honest and say you don't? But you know, it's actually more disingenuous than you think. On the surface, you think nothing of it, but at the same time, you can't prove or disprove it because he could do charity and not write it off on his taxes. He could generally do that, but we don't know. We will never know. We will never have the proof, or we don't have the proof to disprove it or to prove it. It doesn't exist. So the fact that we can't prove or disprove it really makes it seem far more disingenuous than it actually is. Because if you think about it, why else would he tell us this? Because he knows it sounds bad if he's not being charitable, correct? So why not just say, "Oh, I do donate to charity behind the scenes. I just don't tell you guys," and no one can disprove him. Wow. Just don't think about it. If you think about it, you're an idiot. Okay.
Shit, because it's no one's business, and I don't want to benefit from it. So I'm not going to talk about it. All right? So that's the deal. All right?
But he only talks about it when he's trying to say why he doesn't do a charity stream. So in a way, he does benefit from it because he uses it as a defense to not do charity streams. Got him.
That simple.
That simple.
If you disagree with that, that's fine. You can go ahead and disagree with it. And do what you want. Do charity, philanthropy, whatever you want to call it in your own content. But please stop putting your morals and values onto me and trying to force...
This dude literally just tried to put his morals onto everyone, though. Don't force your morals onto me, but guys, everyone who does charity on stream, they're not doing real charity. They're not sacrificing like I am. That's not forcing your beliefs on everyone else? And isn't that also forcing him? And he also shat on people for doing the ice bucket challenge. No one in the ice bucket challenge was forcing him to do it, by the way. And he's sitting there like, these guys, they got mad at me, man. But you're forcing your belief onto them, though. Huh? Very funny. Don't force your way of life onto me, but live by my standards. Okay? Sound good?
Me into something that I'm not comfortable with. I already know trying to do an event like this would be a huge can of worms that I'm opening with the amount of hater base and everything that I have all over the internet.
Now it's the haters again.
You know what I'm saying?
So again, which is it, Phil? The haters or your beliefs? I sound like the boss. I just played MGS3. So, what is it gonna be, Jack? Your haters or your beliefs? Your duty to your stream or your personal feelings? And then DSP would just be like, I don't know. Tell me what to do, boss. He'd be so confused. Imagine if he was the boss's disciple. She would probably do fucked up shit just to get away from him. She would have betrayed the United States faster. She'd be like, I just want to get away from this bitch of a fucking asshole. And then Volga's like, is he coming with us? No, he's too stupid. He's too stupid. Oh my god, this is another good picture. This is literally him just when he has too many games to play. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I don't want to deal with that level of crap. If I'm going to help people, I'll just help them. I don't need to have it publicly broadcast all over the internet. All right?
All right.
So there you go.
There you go.
Continuing on. So this person wrote insanely large thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's like 400 pages. I'm just going to summarize.
400 pages, by the way.
Number one, shorten your podcast by
I just love. We cannot possibly fathom just shorten the podcast. But god damn it, you guys have to shorten your fucking suggestions for him to read them. Don't waste his time. You can waste your time, though. That's cool. But these suggestions that are made to help him, he's not gonna read them all. Stupid.
2/3 its length. Focus more on gaming. It's the after-tier streams people are there to see the most. It's the place you most likely get support. That's completely untrue, by the way.
Actually, incorrect, DSP. You told us it is how you make the most of your money. He goes on saying, "Oh, people who care about me, about my gaming, they love me as a gamer and all this stuff." But okay.
One podcast and daily rap should be less combined than a single segment of the level 1 podcast is now. Mix in.
Oh, I think what that guy was saying. I mean, I guess he kind of fumbled it a little bit, tbh. But what he's saying, what I'm putting together in my big boy brain, he probably wants the daily rep and the schedule segment to just be one video, and that's it. Like, don't bring it up in the podcast because if he's doing the daily rep and the daily rep contains the schedule, then why does he need the schedule segment in the podcast? Either do that or just don't do the daily rep and then just do the schedule and daily rep stuff in the podcast at that point. But I wouldn't recommend that either because it's fucking garbage. Just don't do. At most, just have the daily rep be the schedule segment and have it be its own video, and then have the podcast be the video you talk about Invincible.
Talking about your day with your gameplay and focus on the stuff that's super important in the podcast. So number one, do what everyone else already does. And number two,
if you guys remembered what I told you when we watched the other pre-stream podcast, you guys get a reward because this dude literally said that other YouTubers and other streamers have podcasts that are 30 minutes to 2 hours. How come they get to do it and I can't? And now he's saying he's different because he does a long-ass podcast? What? Huh?
so that when I turn on a game, I'm talking about other unrelated shit that distracts from the game rather than talk about it in the podcast.
Then why do you have many videos of you saying, guys, hello, guys, are you there? What? Guys, hello, chat, hello, chat, where are you, chat? Hello, guys. That's cool. That's not you trying to get engagement out of your chat. And this dude also wants engagement. He wants engagement in his fucking streams. And then it's like, wait, you want engagement in gameplay? No. Do the engagement I want you to do specifically, okay? But I'm not gonna tell you what, but just do what I want you to. But I'm not gonna tell you exactly what. But here's a hint. Talk about me or the game. And that's it. Period.
No. It's a terrible suggestion. The reason I do a podcast is so we can get through these topics, right? Now,
so we can get through these topics. This dude loves his job. He tells us every day how meaningful the podcast is. And then he says stuff like this that I always get hung up on because what an attitude to have. I do a podcast to get through topics, to get through them. It has a very, passive-aggressive emotion to it. Like, come on, man.
When I play Super Mario RPG, guess what we can actually do? Play Super Mario RPG and focus on the game. Yeah.
How come I could play Persona 5 Royal and other games Better yet, I'll use my favorite game as an example, Guilty Gear. How come I could play Guilty Gear and talk about other stuff at the same time? Why can't I do that, huh? And it's a fighting game too. Weird.
There'll be some discussions and side things, but mostly we'll be enjoying and playing the game. I can be immersed in it. Rather than I boot Super Mario RPG.
Wait, what?
Play Super Mario RPG and focus on the game. Yes, there'll be some discussions and side things, but
so we have discussions and side things during gameplay, but we don't want full subject. What the fuck? Huh?
Mostly we'll be enjoying and playing the game. I can be immersed in it. Rather than I boot Super Mario RPG.
But Oh my god, dude. I want to I just want to highlight this, okay? He told us in the past that his gameplay videos that used to upload was like I was sitting that you were there next to me when I was playing the game, man. That's what he told us. And then he told us that back then that was like I was in an isolation booth and I was like not I was isolated from you guys and all this stuff and now I'm interactive and I read the chat. And now he's telling us that we have to talk about the game because we have to be immersed in the game and we can't talk about anything else. So we somehow went from being the most like immersive gamer in the sense of like that it was like we're sitting next to him on the couch when he played to now we are in like two separate rooms and we have to like watch him through a glass window and we can only talk when when it's about the game or him and that's it. So how are you an interactive streamer then, Phil? And he tells us this every day, how it was so stupid he's not interactive. How is it interactive to play a game and then just sit there and be like, I don't want to talk about any of this stuff. That's what we do the pre-stream for. To get through the topics. And then we have all the also random ass days where he says, Nintendo Direct didn't have a direct on Friday. Well, that's when I'm playing this game. So we'll do the podcast, and then I'm sure throughout the day we're gonna like talk about the game releases during the gameplay. So it'll be a very chill time, man. But why are we talking about the Nintendo Direct then? Why not wait until the next day and talk about it on the podcast? Huh?
PG, and because I didn't do a podcast today, someone asked me a question about why don't I do charity streams. So now I spend 25 minutes explaining that instead of playing the game. If you don't,
maybe you could respond to it in less than 20 minutes. I don't think again, I could have answered that question in a minute. Hey Theo, are you gonna do a charity stream? No, I don't want to do. I don't want to do a charity stream right now, or I just don't want to do a charity stream. Wow, how long did that take, guys? Did that take like 20 minutes? No, I just said no. I don't want to do a charity stream. Or and the longest I could probably say is I don't want to do a charity stream because I want to at least know the charity I'm going to that I want to participate in is going to actually go to the charity event. I'm not sure about these other sites that other people use. Was that super long? Were you guys falling asleep already? I mean, you guys are already probably asleep. This is a 2-hour video, so I mean, you guys are probably like having a nice little nap.
See the benefit of having a dedicated show in the morning to talk about these topics. If you don't see that I actually have a dedicated viewer base who watch this show every day, it's like a habit for them, right? I wake up in the morning, I listen to the show, or I listen to it on the way to work, I listen to it during lunch break or whatever. I like the show because of that. I get news from it. I get to learn about Phil and his opinions and all this. And I like to learn about games and stuff. This is a
what games do we fucking learn from this guy? What do we learn from this podcast? Every time I have listened to this podcast, it's just, I think, maybe, I heard, I guess. Like, he didn't know that the mini PC had a fan in it. He didn't know half the games that were coming out. He didn't know that Mario RPG had all, like, swappable music. He doesn't know that Persona 3 Reload is a full-on remake. But we learned about games from him. Like, there's stuff that he factually doesn't know about anything. And it's always, I guess, they say this, maybe, all the time. What do we learn? His schedule and how to give him money. And that's trash.
It has a following. Just because you don't like it, because you like streamers who talk about personal shit during gameplay, do you not understand how different I am from other streamers? So what you want is, Phil, please just change and be like everybody else.
Be like everyone else. DSP, you literally defend your podcast by saying other people do it that long, if not longer. So how are you different then? And the reason why he has a face cam is because other streamers have it. Like, everything he does is what other streamers have.
Oh, you guys say you don't like the LED lights behind me? That's weird because every other streamer has it. Everyone said, Phil, you need to have the lights, so I do it. And now I can't do it, huh?
Like, come on, man. Stop being stupid.
No.
No.
But thanks for the suggestion. Mix in smaller games.
Like, he just doesn't want to do a shorter pre-stream. But the thing is, he could do his little podcast the way he wants. He could still teach us stuff that I guess he teaches us. But it's so boring. What's interesting? And there are literal podcasts where he's like,
well, it's not like I got a news today, so like I have nothing else to say, man.
and those podcasts are still an hour long. They're literal podcasts. He tells us, oh, there's nothing going on today, so I don't know how. So I don't know, man. There's nothing going on today. It's a very chill day, man. And then he does a Q&A where he's just like this for 5 minutes and says, huh. No.
Oh yeah? Okay, Jade. See you tonight. No, Derek. I don't remember Winnie the Pooh. I'm a fucking 45,000-year-old man. Don't you see I have like nose hairs in my nose and my balls are flapping all over the place? It's like I'm like getting a testicular torso. Is that what they call it? I think they call it ball twister. I think you know. Okay.
That's his podcast. That's his podcast. Oh.
With popular new releases while moving into the Halloween season, now be the perfect time for a game like
Oh my god.
Phil, please just change and be like everybody else. No. But thanks for the suggestion. Mix in smaller games with popular new releases while moving into the Halloween season. Now be
Okay, get over this. He says mix in smaller games with bigger new releases. He can't do that because he needs to support a business. He needs AAA slop. He can't get an indie game. It's risky. He needs to be a millionaire to get an indie game. It's a massive investment. I can't get over that. Every time I even think about it, it kind of pisses me off because an indie game is factually cheaper than a AAA game. So how is it a steeper risk to play an indie game? Like if an indie game is $20, he'll make $1 because one Miniman will tip $21. Okay. But then you might get a little bit more because of another whale that will show up. Regardless, whatever the fuck. Like, he has an easier chance to make up the money for an indie game than a AAA release that's $70. And yet somehow, magically, the indie game is a steeper risk. Oh, okay, sure.
perfect time for a game like World of Horror and Indie. No one even knows what you're talking about. What the hell is World of Horror? Again, what is these are
no one knows what you're talking about. Why expose an indie game to a crowd? Why would he want to do that? Like, I played Metallic Child on stream, and I didn't have to sit there and think about, do people know what this game is? Oh, fuck. What if I play Metallic Child and no one knows what it is? I streamed it, and I kind of wish I streamed it more. Like, that's where it's at right now. I still have it on my Switch, by the way. So maybe in the future I'll play the game again. You guys can understand what I'm talking about when I mentioned Metallic Child.
Personal preferences of a person, instead of saying, here's some really good generalized suggestions.
Oh my god, let's listen to this.
No one even knows what you're talking about.
And I like the attitude. No one knows what you're talking about. This dude, man. This dude.
What the hell is World of Horror? Again, these are personal preferences of a person, instead of
personal preferences. My god, dude, they're suggesting you games. Like do you know what Hades was when that was new? Or Cult, was Sheep of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. Do you know what, like, all these other indie games? And he's like, oh, these are personal preferences. These are just indie games they want to see you play. That's all that it is.
Saying, here's some really good generalized suggestions that would improve your content. Here's specifically what my demands are to improve your content right now.
And then look how negative he frames it too. A dude suggested to play an indie game. And to alternate, like, dude, listen how insane it is. The first guy says, "Oh, shorten the podcast. That stupid idiot. You're an awful person." A dude says, "Okay, well, play an indie game with a AAA release, a new release." Okay, you're demanding a game from me, okay? No one knows what you're talking about. I mean, I don't think he made it clear if these are the same person or a different person. I think it's the same person. But even then, it's a stupid thing to get upset about. A dude just asked to play an indie game, and he's acting as if he said, "Phil, come over to my house and hang out with me, and live here forever," or some shit. Like, and this dude, this fucker, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna be super toxic, because you know what? No, I'm gonna be even more toxic for this piece of shit, because this dude makes it a personality to brag how he listens to feedback, oh, I listen to the games that you suggest, guys. You guys, oh, I never would have thought to play Persona before. Oh, I never thought to play Yakuza before. Oh, I never thought of this, man. The dude gives him a game he never thought of. Oh, you're demanding me to play a game. Oh, you're telling me to do all this stuff. Like how open he is. That's because, and you know what this is? He's being very, very negative because that dude had the misfortune to think that you could shorten the podcast. How dare you? Look how negative he took it. Look how insecure he is over his fucking podcast. He sees all these people saying that he should shorten it, and what it is in reality is that people like the length just kind of happened to be this way because but before, when he would just do the pre-stream, people would just say, "Hey, can you turn on the camera? Can you do the camera?" He would just shit on you for doing it, for asking that. "You're an idiot, stupid." He does it, then decides, "Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make it a podcast." And he only called it a podcast to just quell the criticism of it being too long, as if that's addressing the problem. Like, if I like fucking throw my Wiimote at your TV and I break your TV, and you're like, "Theo, why did you break my TV? What the fuck?" I say, no, man, like, I did a performance for you. I performed a cool little skit, and I just happened to throw the Wiimote at your TV. It's just a skit, man. Is that gonna erase the problem? Are you gonna be less upset at me that I broke your TV? No, you're probably gonna be even more upset because I lied to you. Like, that's what this is. Instead of just addressing the problem that the pre-stream's too long, oh, just change the name. People have been telling him that his podcast has been too long because it's too long. He's been telling him that for years, and he thinks that this is an accurate way to address the problem. It isn't. It's a bullshit attempt to change it so that you can't complain about it. Oh, it's a podcast now. You can't complain it, but you don't do anything that makes it a podcast. Because the pre-stream, you would say, "Oh, I'm just setting up the stream. So I'm just talking to you guys as I'm setting up for stream." And then magically it became a podcast. The same thing he did that he claimed it was to set up the stream is now a podcast. Like, it just shows how much this dude just doesn't care. And he just wants to do whatever the fuck he wants. And that's all he operates by. And sure, if that's the case, if people are giving you suggestions that are annoying, then why do you select them to read them in the suggestion box? You don't have to read every suggestion. I mean, sure, people are gonna say, "Wow, he didn't read this suggestion." It is what it is, man. Or better yet, just shut the fuck up. If he didn't make it such a personality to listen to feedback and all this stuff, this would not be as toxic as it is. But this dude makes it a personality to not only brag how he listens to feedback, he flexes it onto others. "Oh, these other streamers, they don't listen to feedback like I do. I listen to you guys." Is this listening to them? Just sitting there and just regurgitating what they're saying and saying no, or just not even acknowledging what they're saying? Like, the other suggestion box was him just saying what's in the suggestion box, and that's it. He did not even say yes or no. He just said, "Oh, play Ark Emergence, okay." Okay, what? Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it next month? Okay, what? Okay. Oh, do this. Okay. That's what I said. Okay. Like, these segments are nothing segments and are just actual time fillers. And I really despise this podcast that DSP does because DSP has openly said he talks in a way that fills time. Go to, and it's, I know it, I know it's either, it's, I know it's in one or two places. Ask the King or the IRL stream with Cat. I know it's in both of those things where he brings that up because I heard it thinking, why the fuck would you brag about wasting time? Wasting your viewers' time talking. Fuck you, Phil.
Like a streamer I already like. Play the indie games that they're playing. No, no, no.
He plays games that other people play though. He every AAA game he's playing, other streamers play though. And then he's like, oh, I would be different from everyone else. Okay, play indie games no one heard of. No. What the fuck are you then, Phil? He's a independent streamer that doesn't do what other streamers do. Okay, what do the other streamers do? They play new releases. DSP plays new releases. He has face cam. Oh, he sticks to those games. That's what sets him apart, man. And he plays a lot of games too. Wow! Anyone with a pulse could do that. Like, it's such low-hanging fruit to brag about being a variety streamer because anyone can do it. Literally anyone can do it. My mom can do it. And I would argue she'd probably be more entertaining than him. But no, of course, DSP's so different. He's such a special snowflake.
Let's get to the next suggestions, because that was really fucking stupid. Okay.
Not as dumb as your fucking reaction to it.
More gameplay and less react videos. Well, I wasn't even aware that I did a lot of react videos.
He uploads a lot, but he does one stream, and he complains about it. Like, he complains he can't get far in a game because he has to do the react show. Okay.
Right?
Right?
Did I do a lot of react? I mean, I do one stream a week of dedicated react content, correct? And yes, I did a lot of movie reviews in the month of October, which I guess could be considered react videos, right? This month, especially because I lost time being sick, I pretty much have only played games and then the little bit of reacting, right? So
he didn't change how he uploaded reacts though. It's the same amount. I mean, unless he's factually including movie reviews, but he was never gonna review Invincible anyway because it's not a super duper relevant brand that he feels safe about. And I kind of wonder if he hated the show. Because man, I know a lot of people who hate Amber in season 1, and I get the hate. I kind of want to rewatch it because I feel like I had a different opinion, and I don't want to necessarily, because I just know I defended Amber's characterization in season 1 because I kind of felt that, like, in the context of why she was mad, it made sense. But at the same time, I was like, well, I do get why it's kind of stupid too, because she didn't know. I vaguely remember it, but it's like I just thought she had a reason for it, but whatever. And I wonder if he's gonna have a dumb reaction to that.
Well, you see, Amber is, really stupid because, she doesn't understand how life works. What a troll, or whatever, I don't know.
Did kind of refocus on gameplay this month. But there will be more. Like, for example, there's going to be a special Thanksgiving stuff. They're reacting to ads on Black Friday. So I'm shocked that someone is literally saying more gameplay, less react videos when I put out so few react.
When was that posted though? That could have been posted during October. Videos. Whatever.
And the suggestion up to this year was do react content.
Okay, this is dumb to bring up because when people were saying do react content, I don't think they had DSP versus the internet in mind when they say do react content. They were probably thinking DSP was gonna watch a video and just react to it. They didn't think he was gonna, like, watch weird clips and just be weird about it. And DSP Reacts is a dumb show. Let's just go to a random DSP Reacts. DSP Raw, oh my god. Dude, calm down. If it loads. Will it load? No, I'm not gonna give. Oh my god, what the fuck? DSP React series. What the fuck? Oh yeah, okay, whatever. Wow. Let's just go to the channel, I guess. We still have the best horror movie sequel ever. He really liked Doctor Sleep. I don't know. I don't know if I liked it as much. Fuck, we'll just click this. And look at these faces. It's just the same face.
Welcome back, everyone, to
God.
DSP versus the Internet, episode 39 for November 19th, 2023. I hope
We're just gonna skip ahead.
they would work. How do you re-release Moon Patrol for
Oh
a modern
my god,
audience and get
dude. This is good reacting. Look at this reacting, man. Okay. I don't want to listen to music. Oh my god, this is really long. What about this? Oh, it's the same guy again! The dude that does these weird animations. I thought DSP banned him.
Get your goddamn hands off me! No!
This is him reacting. By the way, like...
Why do you want to leave me?
Babe, that's not what I said.
Wow. This is a good react content. Oh my god.
Say that? You know how tight my heart?
You're so fucking brainwashed into thinking that
What? Okay, okay.
it's
Let's...
so creepy. It's like her cult, right?
It's so creepy. It's like her cult, man. He's watching a animation from a dude that makes things look creepy, and he's like, "Dude, it's creepy."
They're all a hive mind.
They're
all-
alive, and then he's explaining the video. That's DSP Rex in a nutshell. Watch something and explain what you saw. It's like he can't process what he's watching if he doesn't do it. If he just sits there and just watches, he might get lost. So he has to stop and then be like, okay, so like they're like in a hive mind. Yeah, they're in a hive mind, and then like just explaining what this is the content you get.
One person. All her Swifties are so fucking brainwashed into thinking that she's like this best person on the planet that they all think alike. They all mentally know exactly what they're gonna say or do. That's fucking creepy as shit. This could be a horror movie.
Oh my god, it's like a horror movie. Oh my god. Every video I have seen that he makes, it could be a horror movie. Wow, what a take, Phil. What a reaction. Oh my god. I want to be a member now to this fucking channel. That sold it to me, man. Like before I was like, okay, DSP Rex, I don't think it's gonna work. But now, after every time he watches the same dude's videos and saying the same shit, I'm sold. Like, I said this in a past video. DSP versus the Internet has kind of homogenized into a blob. Like, you can't really discern. Like, I can't even pick out when was a single one. Like, if he says something, like, he could say something crazy in one part, I wouldn't even remember what part it is. I would have to really, like, dig in. If anything, the thing that I would have to go by is the video he watched and not his reaction, which is really wild. If you think about it, in a way, it makes him a failure of a reactor. Reactor? Or react guy. Oh, excuse me. Failure is very negative and toxic. A downward slope reactor. A react guy. He's a reacting guy on a downward trend slope to a cushiony fall. Because wouldn't you rather want people to remember your reaction and not the video? And already, all these videos are melting together. And this is not the React content that people wanted. I don't think this is what they wanted. They just accepted because that's what they were being given. Because it's ridiculous.
React content. So now I'm doing the React content. Don't do React content. Oh, so I see the pattern
Because,
here.
Again, go back to when they were asking to React content. You'll notice a very happy, funny trend. It seems that they kept asking him to React content when it came to video game events like E3, Nintendo Directs. Then they kind of asked him to react to like down the rabbit hole videos, but these are singular videos that they want him to react to, not clips. No one asked for him to react to clips. Like, no one wanted a poor man's funniest home videos. No one asked for this. They asked for him to react to these other events, and he just didn't want to do it. And this is what we got, because he wanted to milk it.
Just whatever you're doing is always wrong, and then when you start doing what we suggest, it's also wrong.
No one suggested DSP versus the internet, though. And it's really funny to me that DSP reacts is Inception. Because everyone has him to do React content, and what he gives you on that channel is factually stuff that no one asked for. No one asked for an interview series, and that's fundamentally canceled at this point. No one asked for DSP versus the internet, and the long form reacts are just longer versions of what they wanted that are more drawn out and lame. Like, DSP reacts has become everything that no one wanted. It's really like if let's say that Capcom listened to DSP and they made the perfect Street Fighter game. But they're like, okay, Street Fighter 6, it's now an RPG. Just no fighting at all, and it's just an RPG. Like, that's reacting. It's not Street Fighter 5. You want? No, I got it. Since these we loved World Tour mode, right? Street Fighter 7, they get rid of online multiplayer, and it's just the World Tour segment. That's Street Fighter 7. He liked the World Tour segment, so obviously Street Fighter 7's path to victory is just to do that, right? Just give just World Tour. Just do that. You don't need the multiplayer aspect because that World Tour mode was so cool, and you want more of that, right? Okay.
Got it.
Got it.
Play Baldur's Gate 3. We've talked about that. I might in the future.
You know, people bring up like, oh, why is he so negative Lights for Soul? Because Lights for Soul is a bitch. Lights for Soul literally got banned for calling DSP's fans autistic, but he got, in reality, banned for charging back his fucking tips. And then, when he got back, he just kept bullying him, saying, oh, you like anime, Lights for Soul? You're a bitch, you're a dumbass. And Lights for Soul gave him money, so DSP identified that Lights for Soul is a bitch. So, there you go. He can treat him like shit, and he'll still keep giving him money. Why would DSP give a fuck? You know, honestly, if I had no regard for people who watch me, and I had a guy that was gonna give me money, and I was able to shit on him, why not, right? Bleh. Because DSP literally knows the type of viewer like Lights for Soul. He knows that kind of person that will just keep giving him money no matter what. Because that's what he strives for, man.
Ignore the trolls. I'm absolutely trying to do my best with that. Okay.
Wait, what?
Play Baldur's Gate 3. We've talked about that. I might in the future. Ignore the trolls. I'm absolutely trying to do my best with that.
He been trying since the dawn of time.
Okay.
Okay. Ear wiggle.
This is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Here's one. Stop begging. I know you don't think you are, but you are. Mention how people can contribute if they choose to only once in an entire stream.
If this was critical, he'd be like, yes, sir, critical, I shall only mention contributions only once. Yes, sir, Moist, I will do your bidding. But since it's just a random guy, they're being so unreasonable with this demand. But this dude also bragged about doing that too. Like, remember when he used to do the bag tweets? Then he said, oh, I rolled it back because it was bad and I tried to reduce the begging. What happened to that?
Only at the beginning of the stream. Leave it alone. Don't ever bring up goals. Don't.
Okay. Get this. Get a load of this, right? He told us in this very podcast that the point of the podcast is to get through topics so it doesn't interfere with the gameplay. So he does bring up contributions in the podcast. So why can't we go back to talking about the contribution stuff during gameplay, but we can't talk about anything else during gameplay? Huh, interesting.
Ask for any contributions. Don't hint about it either.
Hint, hint.
Because when you watch a television show, they only ever mention products at the very beginning. And then
This is factually stupid. Factually, in reality, stupid as fuck. On many levels, by the way, but we're just going to focus on the contribution begging aspect of it. No TV show says, "Hi guys, welcome to Breaking Bad. Yeah, before Walt does some crazy shit, we need your support. Please watch the ads and think about buying the ads too. Think about buying products, okay? Please, we love Breaking Bad and Walt loves doing Walt stuff and Gus does Gus stuff. It's really cool, but we want to hit the tips goal, guys. Come on, guys. You want to see Heisenberg in the hat, right? Gotta hit the goal before we get that to happen, okay? We gotta hit the goal. Maybe if we hit the goal, we'll see the Heisenberg hat, maybe. Will we see it? Maybe. What about the Heisenberg glasses? Maybe too. But guys, do you want to see Jesse Pinkman in his hat? We gotta hit the hat goal, guys. Come on. All right, guys. Guys, we got $50 in tips. We're almost at the Heisenberg hat goal. We're almost there. I mean, they do the show, and then it stopped for an ad break. But the show is not stopping what it's doing to do it. You know what I mean? They're not hinting at the ad either.
you
Whatever.
just get uninterrupted content the entire television show, right? Right? When you
Okay, so then if we're gonna do this ad break stuff, then how about this, Phil? How about this, okay? Since he has introduced the ad breaks into his streams now, here's a trade-off, okay? If you're gonna do that, you can't beg during this. You can't mention tips goals or anything because you're already getting ad revenue. Because it's funny, right? It's hilarious even. DSP used to brag about this. Oh, you know what? I don't interrupt my content with ads because I am crowdfunded. So yes, I may bring up tip me and stuff like that, but that's because I'm crowdfunded. I don't have any ads. I don't have ads playing in the middle of the streams. I don't have this going on. But now he has ads in the middle of his streams. And we still get the tip segment. Huh? So then shouldn't we get rid of the tip begging if you have ad breaks? Huh? What?
when you're watching a 5-hour broadcast, you're expected to be there the moment the show starts to know how you can support that broadcast, right? And if you're not,
Dude,
and you miss,
you don't even need to hear it. It's in the description. You can't really watch for oh my god, a minute to not know how to tip. And the people who say, "How do you tip?" he knows they're trolling. But he has to explain it to us all the time. Like literally, he will tell people,
You know how to tip? I find it hard to believe.
out on that. Oh well, I guess I'm boned that you weren't there the very first minute that you were there on the podcast. If the person had said, reduce the amount that you ask for contributions, I would have been like, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about balance.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, you little bitch. You little pig. You would react the same way. Because you like it. You love doing it. It's your fate. He looks forward to it when he splits the fucking videos.
Let's talk.
He's more animated when he talks about it than anything else. He's like Mario RPG, his favorite game. And he's like, hey, we gotta go here, okay. And he just, kid noises. And then, alright.
Guys, we're like so close to the glasses goal, guys. We're so close, man. Let's try to get the glasses on, okay? Thank you. Okay? Okay. Alright, guys, welcome to my RPG.
About finding the happy medium, right? Let's figure that out. But literally, this.
By the way, he increased the ad breaks. He went from conservative to like balanced, and it's not. And people have been complaining about it, but he's been shrugging it off. It's really funny, right? And you know, DSP fans may be thinking, okay, he's gonna do it only for the hardcore like money season, right? For the ad revenue, right? Right? But he's not gonna turn it off. He's not. He's gonna keep it on, and he's gonna tell you, well, no one complained about it, so why would I turn it off? Because, you know, that's a thing. And if you did complain about it, you'll probably be banned because no one else cared about it, right? That's how he works. Because long time ago, when he had the hat goal and the vests and all this stuff, he had originally told us, well, I'll leave the hat for 100 and the vest for 150 temporarily, and we'll switch it back. We'll alternate it, whatever. We'll see what happens. No one really said anything because no one cared. And then said, well, no one seemed to care, so we're going to keep the hat at 100 and vest at 150. Like, just off the bat. It's, as I said before, when you just like trial mods and all this shit, they're not trials. It's just how it's going to be from now on. He's not turning off ads. He's not. He's keeping it on. It's over. It's over. If you thought that he wasn't gonna play ads, guess what, idiot? Now you're getting ads.
It goes right to the extreme.
Get you to premium, bitch. It's hilarious even, right? YouTube suddenly wants to ban ad blocks and all this stuff, and DSP got more thirsty with ads. It really makes you think. Because before, he was just like, oh, whatever, I'll play ads. Oh, okay, ad block, whatever, it's stupid, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Ad blocker gets banned, and now he's like mega thirsty to play ads. But he's not like these other people who are greedy and all they want is money. No. DSP is a gamer.
Right? No,
right?
You never can bring it up. Never can you do anything. What?
He didn't say never. He just said calm down.
Okay, how about this? Get rid of tiered goals. No one cares if you're going to put on a gunner glasses or a hat. Instead, do a goal along these lines. All right, let's see what this suggestion is. Maybe this.
No, low key, he doesn't. He wants to do it because it's another secret, sneaky way to beg. Because if you go back to the Dark Ages when he had no clothes, God, it sounded so wrong. When he had no vest goals and shit like that. Oh my God, holy shit. Oh no. Before he had the vest and all this dumb shit, right? He would be sitting there like, he would be struggling because he's like, slow streams, guys. You know, there's been a slow stream and all this stuff. He had to find sneaky ways. But begging for clothes? That's like the easy way to beg. It's an easy way to hide it too. Because like, guys, we haven't seen like a vest in a long time, guys. We haven't seen a hat in a long time, guys. It's an easy way to beg without looking like a scumbag. But those who know.
A good one. $100 in tips if you get in an $100 in tips in an hour will get you an extra hour of streaming. How many times have I explained to you guys?
This is stupid. This is stupid because he could easily just like, why not just do it sometimes? He doesn't have to do it every stream. He could just say, oh, I'll do it one time. Because just remember, he did 3-hour Street Fighter 6 streams. I'm not talking about the Street Fighter 5 stream he did for 4 hours at night. I'm not talking about that one. I'm saying specifically, there were Street Fighter 6 streams he played for 3 hours. And he's gonna sit here and tell you he can't fit in an hour. He has to spend time with his family. Because obviously, you can't just, I don't know, just do it one time, maybe once a week, say, okay, today's gonna be the day where if I get $100 an hour, I'll stream 1 hour extra, then the next day comes, or the next stream, he could say, okay guys, we're not gonna do that because it's on cooldown. He could have cooldowns. He could say, oh, I'll do it every other stream, or I'll do it one stream, then like next week we could do it again, or whatever the fuck. No, of course not, because he needs to spend time with his wife, because apparently if he spends 1 extra hour in his gamer room, she's gonna feel that he hates her, just one time or whatever. He'd hate it if they did that every stream, and she knows that he wants to see her and he can't. She's gonna like fucking go crazy. Apparently,
guys, that I'm not a 20-year-old guy. I'm not single.
it's so
I don't
easy.
sit around
So
at home all day with
I guess what he's telling us that Cat's an unreasonable person then, which is kind of weird, right? Correct?
nothing to do. All right? This is my job, which I'm very dedicated to, and I spend the majority of my day doing. I spend far more time in this office streaming and uploading and working than I do with my family. All right? As it is, on any given day, I probably get to see my wife 2 hours, if that. In a 24-hour day, I see my wife for like 2 hours, and maybe every once in a while around the house in between. But we
Okay.
get
He sees her 2 hours every day, right? And a day off. Like, come on. And he acts as if like this is a thing that no one else goes through in a relationship. No one else. How come they get to make it work and they don't bitch about it?
2 hours to spend together in a given day. I get 1 day a week that I'm supposed to be spending off of streaming. Guess what I do? Grocery shopping, going to get a pet.
Dude, there are literal days off where he tells us he stayed home all day. I'm tired of this.
I only have 1 day off a year, man. In reality, like Christmas time.
But there's so many pre-streams because like last year I made it a point in my mind to just kind of think, just to keep track of it, and I kind of fell off on that, but I know he said it because it resonated with me, man, because this dude goes out of his way to tell us what he does on his days off, and it's always, if it's not doing errands and appointments, it's I decided to stay home all day. Like, this dude is so fucking fake. He loves to use that as an excuse because this dude is an idiot.
Supplies, going to the doctor, going to an appointment or a legal appointment, seeing lawyers, all this shit.
Okay, my lawyer theory on this one, I think, because since he used to volunteer the information that Cat's ex is abusive and they had a restraining order, there must be some kind of thing where he either appeals the restraining order and or maybe she has to keep renewing the restraining order. I don't fucking know because I've not filed a restraining order. So maybe there's something with that, man, or from her past. I don't know.
All this shit that I've
Or
always
maybe
had
he's
to do,
getting sued. I don't know.
I have to do on my 1 day off a week. All right? So now what you want me
The
to
pasta
do
man's
is
coming.
abolish the goals that are silly and easy to do. You know, toss on some glasses.
Wait, the goals are silly? I thought he doesn't do silly stunts for money, man. Now he does silly stunts? Huh?
Or put on a hat of your choice to be a little silly with my audience. And instead of doing things that are reasonable.
Again, he mocks Rich for doing silly stuff for his audience, like taking his shirt off and sucking cucumbers. But he can do silly stuff and that's not doing stunts. Because it's not hurting anyone. But who is Rich hurting sucking a cucumber? Are you that stupid to think that cucumber has feelings, Phil? A cucumber is a vegetable. You're meant to eat them. And a shirt, I mean, it's clothing. It doesn't have feelings. And he doesn't kiss a live chicken. Like, dude, every time he keeps bringing up kissing chickens, I thought he was saying a real chicken. And I'm like, wait, Rich kisses a real chicken? Huh? He spreads fucking slander about Rich every time. He says this. To the point where I second guess the cucumber, but I think he does because I think I saw a picture of it. But it's like, who is he hurting? And he's like, I do these goals and they're not hurting anyone. And then you also ask, where are the hot tub streamers hurting? Who do they hurt? They're in the hot tub, just chilling there. I mean, I guess you could argue they're hurting the people who's giving them money's bank account, but it's kind of self-inflicted at that point. With that logic, man, you could say that DSP is doing self-harm by playing WWE champions. Okay, whatever.
Because there are things that I could do within the confines of the insane amount of time that I'm already working and streaming. You want me to take away even more of the time the little time that I have with my family. Okay? The definition of what you just said is...
You know what he could do? And it might be a wild idea. what if he says, okay, if I get $100 in tips or whatever, I can stream and do a stream exclusive segment where you see me upload the videos and do all this stuff. Because you could also argue that could show us how long it truly takes him to do all this stuff. But he did tell us it takes 30 minutes, so you know.
Entitlement. It's called that because you think that you've contributed to a stream that you can now dominate my entire life. Now again, when I was younger, I sat around. The definition of what you just said is called entitlement.
Okay.
It's called that because you think that you've contributed to a stream that you can now dominate my entire life. Now again, when I was younger,
but you're streaming an hour of a game you're playing that you want to play though. And on top of that, that's another video to upload to YouTube that can give you more money.
I sat around and I made gameplay videos, sometimes for 14 to 16 hours a day. I would pump out a game within 2 days, all right? That was unhealthy. I was not happy. I was fat.
He told us he was happy throughout his life. And whatever, okay.
Drunk. I was stupid. I was a workaholic. I had no work-life balance at all. Maybe because you are an entitled viewer.
I kind of question the amount of games he played and all this stuff, because I want to say I kind of want to believe that he just recorded the same amount of gameplay he does now. Maybe a little bit more because, you know, DSP is DSP, and it's just 10-minute videos. Like, whatever, you know.
Or you think that that's a valid like request. It is if it's someone who's young and they're willing to give up all of their personal time and efforts for their work. I'm 41 years old and I have a family life now. I have a responsibility to my family to actually spend time with them, to keep a household running.
It's a responsibility to spend time with them. I mean, that really sounds like you love spending time with them, right? When you have to like factor that into time and say, yeah, that's your responsibility. Okay.
This suggestion is incredibly ludicrous. It's so unreasonable that I'm actually now going to skip the rest of your suggestions because the first two ones were incredibly stupid.
What? It's unreasonable to even, like, the thing is, he says to reduce begging or whatever, and he's like, well, you say to reduce? Okay, then why not just take it that way? You could, like, look how much you have to compromise. He can't compromise for you. You have to compromise to him. But he's reading what they're saying and says, okay, that's a little too unreasonable, but, you know, I guess, but I could try to reduce it a little bit more, so I'll try that. No, instead just read it like a dick and act like an asshole. That's the Phil Burnell way.
Wow.
Like,
let's continue.
And that's kind of my issue with the suggestion box. And that's what I've been kind of meaning when I was doing this video. It's really, there's no way for him to really convey anything, if you think about it, because he's reading other people's suggestions, and he's just reading them, and it's either saying no, if you're lucky you'll say maybe, and he'll just read it and move on. He doesn't really read them and have a conversation about it. He read that guy's suggestion and didn't even say, well, you say to reduce it this amount. Okay, but like, you know, I could try to reduce it because I don't think that I do it that much, but maybe I'm doing it too much. I'll try to reduce it, so I'll try from there. So maybe instead of doing it like this amount, I'll do like once in the pre-stream, once in the middle of the gameplay stream, and that's it. Which he already arguably does in a way, but he could just say that. But instead we get, I don't do that completely. I'm not gonna do it all the way. That's insane. And then the dude says, oh, okay, why don't you stream it for an extra hour if you do this? Instead of just trying to find a middle ground where maybe it could work, maybe, another brain blast idea, he starts the stream early, and then he can just do it that way, and then once he gets off stream, he has more time to spend with his wife. Or when she's working or whatever, he can start the stream late. Like, he could just figure it out that way. No, he needs to be consistent, and he needs to be a robot, and it needs to be a routine. So, what's the deal? And there are days where she goes to work, so why doesn't he wake up the same time as her and stream early? No, the prince needs his little sleep. He needs his little beauty sleep because he's a streamer. Like, is there really a reason to not wake up early to stream early?
Oh my god.
I mean, wow.
What
That's really impressive
what an
stuff right there.
applause.
I'm really glad that we're going through these. Okay.
Okay.
See, here's the difference is there's some people who can say, like, I would say the charity suggestion was a good one. It was worth going through because what I could do is I could explain to you guys, right, what's going on and why I can't really do that like other streamers or things, what my belief system, why my trolls would ruin it anyway. That was good. Like, I'm happy we went through that. But then when you get to this stuff, these aren't suggestions.
So it's good to go through a suggestion that you don't want to do. But then what's the difference between a suggestion that's useful or that may be useful and to think about, like, have the idea of a suggestion box for a normal person is just to get ideas and then you can mold the ideas and do something unique with them. But he gets all these suggestions and he doesn't have an ounce of a creative thought about it. He just reads it, nah, no, or whatever. He didn't try to, like, think about it because he's already upset the guy didn't even say, oh, reduce the amount. And then you consider it, but shouldn't have the consideration be you read these suggestions no matter how extreme they are and just try to find a middle ground or try to utilize it in some way or think about it? Why doesn't he think about these suggestions he's getting? It's just no, 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 no. Because he can't think. He's just trying to fish for easy suggestions that he could just do without thinking about. Like, oh, Phil, wear a red shirt. You look so cool. Oh, cool, I have red shirts. See, I improved. Like, he just wants stuff like that. He can't get a suggestion and just put an ounce of creative thought behind it because he has nothing behind it. Look at DSP Reacts, the shining beacon of how hard he dropped the ball. A thing that was like kind of given to him. Like, it wasn't a softball. It was just literally a dude just handed it to him, and if he just tapped it, it would be a home run. Instead, he just kind of bunted and it counted as a strike. Like, that's where we're at. He could have gotten a home run, but he somehow got a strike. He got a strikeout.
You understand? These are demands. Be like everyone else I already like.
These are demands. Motherfucker, you begged for suggestions. That's your suggestion. Like, that's kind of a demand. He demands his audience to give him suggestions. Guys, go to the suggestion box. Give me suggestions. Give me suggestions. Those are demands, Phil. You're telling us to do something. And then he gets suggestions saying, hey, try doing like a small game with a big game. That's a demand. I'm not doing that. Who heard of this game? Like, motherfucker, what do you want then? Oh, Phil, play Pandora, the new Avatar game from Ubisoft. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Play all the games that other people are already playing that I already like.
He already does that. He plays AAA slop. Everyone plays AAA slop. Come on.
Ever ask for a contribution or explain how to contribute to your streams whatsoever. Huh? Even giant megala corporations that run fucking TV, movies.
Phil, you're not a mega corporation. So, why are we comparing you to a thing that's bigger than you? Okay. Oh, I get it. We should compare him so that way we can say they shouldn't ask for money. He can't because he's a small guy. Small people can ask for money.
Music, YouTube channels themselves don't do that. But I'm supposed to be held to these ridiculous fucking standards. No, you're an idiot.
Okay, then why did you give... I think it was Woody? I'm trying to remember. He gave Woody a lot of grief for having ads in his videos or whatever. And the ads he was complaining about were ads to his own fucking content. But so Woody can't upload a video on his own channel to discuss wings, advertising videos on his own channel. Phil, a megala corporation, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
not going to entertain your fucking stupidity. That's really dumb. Like, holy shit.
And he says this, and I say this all the time, because this dude always runs to, other people do it, why can't I do it? I'm wrong, but they can do it. But Phil, I thought you do stuff differently. Oh, no, man, I do stuff like everyone else, but I do stuff differently. It's really like this dude does not believe a single thing he says, because in reality, he just wants to be left alone just to stream and not have any criticism, and everyone can love his content. And I get that, but you can't say you want that when you brag about listening to feedback and then have a whole segment dedicated to reading suggestions. And all these segments have become is just toxic denials, rejections, and just empty reading and no thought behind it. Just not even acknowledging half the suggestions. If he's not saying no or maybe, he's not acknowledging it. Like, come on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyway. We got time for one more, and then we're going to get to shout-outs, okay? We got one more.
Oh boy, one
suggestion
more.
here. Hold on a second.
It's
Hold on a
gonna
second,
be,
because I
Phil,
moved my
shave
window
your
around and
head,
screwed everything up.
get rid of your hair, see what happens. No,
Okay,
my wife
I
likes
believe
my
shorts
hair.
are a lot more popular now than they were when they first launched. I think a focus on shorts again, like the channel had when they
I don't
first
know.
launched, would help bring the channel to a newer audience, or maybe bring back in some older fans through the algorithm. It's an
No, he can't do that because he needs someone else to do it.
idea. And then someone responded,
Like, the only shorts he can do are literally just pointing the camera at him and giving you a schedule, because that's all he can do. If it's not complaining about how good a game is or that how you should not boycott a game, he can't do it. Remember when he used to do mini reviews? He can't even do that. He can't do that anymore.
you're right. I think this thread is a perfect for suggesting moments to turn into shorts. My problem with shorts is thus. All right? You may not realize this, but this is true.
Oh my God, dude,
most people on YouTube who have
Guys.
a focus on shorts,
Guys,
first of all, are
listen.
much bigger than me, to be honest. And they have
be
people
honest.
who work on that for them. They have what editor or someone who literally will go through their
Editor.
content for that day, sometimes taking in suggestions from viewers to say, what would you like to see a short of? And then they break out shorts from the content. Okay? I am here from, like 10 in the morning till 10 to 11 at night with a 2-hour break for dinner. All right? During that time frame, I'm streaming an incredible amount of content. Sometimes we'll have a notable moment during a stream. And I'll be like, wow, that was a good moment. Everyone will be like, oh, I'll make a short out of that. Okay, great. Within an hour, I've forgotten about it. Because I'm already...
Yeah, now, Anlene mentioned that DSP bragged about how he could flag stuff in the YouTube studio, but in reality, he can't. Because that requires work and effort, and DSP has no work or effort to speak of. Yes. Why would he... Why, he doesn't want to just do that because this will be him. Okay, this will be... Okay, you want me to make shirts? Okay, this will be how I would make shirts, okay? Okay, I play a game. Oh man, I really wish I had a controller here because that'd be pure oh, I got it. I got it, okay? So I'm here, gaming, okay? I'm here gaming, okay? Moment happened. Okay, wow, moment happened. Okay, put the controller down. Wow, what a meaningful content! That's what you want me to do, you fucking idiot? No, this is a demand. Just because other people have shorts doesn't mean I can do it, okay? I'm an independent variety streamer. I cannot do that. Stop making demands. I'm not your favorite YouTuber, idiot.
I'm doing the rest of the stream. You know what I mean? It's already... It's a moment in time that's great.
You know what? I think I was watching Tevin's restream of this initially, and I think about what Tevin said, and the quote, it's so funny. I'm not your favorite YouTube streamer. That should be DSP's motto from now on. I'm not your favorite YouTube streamer. Despite him telling us every day that he's our favorite. He's not our favorite.
It's lost, right? So... You're right. I think what I could do, perhaps, to get suggestions for things like shorts is have a submission system.
Oh
where
my
people would be
god!
able to-
The dude said use the suggestion box for that. And now he's saying he's gonna open another. This is disgusting. This is like community tab abuse. This is gross. Fuck this guy, man. Another thing. Like, how many things do the viewers have to do now? They have to tip, super chat, gift members. It's the season of giving. Give him business ideas to make money off you. Give him ideas for shorts. Make the shorts. Submit the shorts. Like, god damn it, it's a full-time job. What if they have a family? You want them to watch your streams and find all this stuff out?
on a daily basis say, oh man, something funny just happened on Phil's stream. Let me suggest that for a short, and maybe have a thread where you post that up. You say, hey, here's a short that happened during Phil's Call of Duty stream. It was a really funny moment to happen. I'd like to see that as a short. Oh man, Phil was playing Super Mario RPG, and you know, this funny commentary he did, or you got a funny comment from a viewer and you responded.
But the thing is that he literally has videos that he was going to upload to KO Gaming at one point, never uploaded them. Had a lot of shirt designs, never uploaded them. In reality, why should you give him shorts? Think about it.
This should be a good short. And if I have a few suggestions a day.
And I like how he tells us openly he has people willing to make shorts for him. For free, by the way. Pretty cool, huh?
Then I could, you know.
And then, like, if you dare to ask for money, he'll get you. He'll ban you. Get out of my life. You can't ask for money. Only I can.
Focus in on that and say, okay, here's maybe one or two that are good, and either I could work on it or I could see if there's people out there who'd be willing. I've had a few suggestions a day. Then I could, you know, focus in on that and say, okay, here's maybe one or two that are good, and either I could work on it or
either I can work on it. You know that's a fucking lie. Why are you lying? Just at least be honest. You're gonna just have your fans do the work. Just say that.
I could see if there's people out there who'd be willing. I've had people who've been willing to work on shorts for me, but I need the suggestions. My problem is I'm so busy getting through games and streaming and doing this all day long. I don't remember the suggestions.
And again, why give him any shorts? Why do this work? I never understand these people who do this when every time something doesn't go his way, he will throw you right under the bus as fast as he can. And it's not like this isn't the first time it happens either. Every time it happens. But whatever.
I remember the notable moments because for me it's just another day. I'm literally playing so much. It's like when people say to me, so what is your favorite game of the year? What was your favorite moment in a playthrough this year? In the last 5 years, what was the best platformer you played? Or
this dude literally did a tier maker about it, about all his Game of the Year awards.
Okay. Like, dude, you have to understand that my mind is a jumble. I'm here all day, every day playing games and everything. I don't really remember this stuff. When you guys bring it up.
This dude. So then what's with this whole,
and this game resonates with me. I'll remember this game.
He told us Alan Wake 2 will resonate with him. And he'll remember it. And now he's like, well, I forget things all the time. Okay.
I remember it. If you bring up that highlight, hey, remember this that happened in this playthrough, this glitch that happened in this one, that I remember. But I don't just I can't, you know, I'm already, again, if I was someone who was a big popular YouTuber, who had 1 million views within a week, and I had big money and I could hire someone to be my editor, and this person just sits there in my content, they have access.
This dude is insane. He just told us he had people willing to make shorts for him for free. And then tells us in the same breath, I don't have money for an editor to do this. So the people who want to make shorts for him, do they just say, I want to make shorts for you, and they just never make them? Why do they not make them then? Like, why do they wait? Why do they need, like, weird specific permission segments? Like, why do they need to wait for DSP to command them to do shorts? Like, look how weird this sounds. This is another one of those cases where he'll say it innocently and you'll not think about it, but then once you start, like, thinking about it, it doesn't make sense. He just said he has people that are willing to make shorts for him. Oh, no, it's because they can't find the short, but if they're willing to make shorts for him, can't they find a segment on their own? No. DSP needs to find the segment to monetize.
You know, to all my content, they could sit there and field suggestions And immediately when something funny happens on a stream, highlight it. And then at the end of the stream, let me go. I'm gonna break it out.
And the highlight segment makes no sense if you think about it, because he privates the stream itself once he's done streaming, and then he uploads the videos. So the timestamp you get is nowhere near accurate, because you'll have to decipher what video it's gonna be in and what time it's gonna be in. Like, it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
I'm gonna make that short. I'm gonna toss that out there. I'm gonna name it with a clickbait title and all of that shit that everyone does on YouTube, right? But I don't have that capability to do it myself. I'm a one-man army, right? I do have help. I want to say this. Shout out to the people who help me. There's lots of people. My
I'm a
moderation
one-man
team.
army. I feel that
There are
help.
people who make art for me, animations for me. There's people who make shorts for me. All this stuff.
Yeah, the animations that you recycle, and they're all just shitty face swaps that take no effort. Yes, okay.
appreciate that, because you see this whole thing right here, like, no exaggeration, what you see here is the end result of a community. It's not the end result of one man. This is the end result of a community working together to make my streams look this good. Do you understand? And I appreciate that very, very much, okay? But you have to understand that I have limitations. Like, I like the suggestion, but the suggestion works for someone who has a team of people working for them who can make shorts and break it out of their content every day. I don't have that capability. I don't have time for that. I'm already here too much, you see? Plus, I don't remember. Like I said, that's the other problems, too. So,
There's a lot of problems this guy has. Is that it?
So, if anyone has an idea how to make that work, I'm all ears. I would love to hear some.
And now we gotta get more, like, oh, the dude gave him a suggestion. Then he tells us, guys, figure out how to make it work, and then give me a suggestion on how to make it work. But Philip, you already have the problem solved. You have a guy there that's willing to make shorts for you. And, like, you know? Oh my god.
Questions on how to make that work. That would be feasible.
And also, okay. Right, correct? He already said we can make a suggestion thread to suggest moments. And then you take the moments and then you make into a short. He has people that are willing to make shorts. I mean, he literally already solved it. What more suggestions does he need? How, like, see, he's so bad at reading and problem solving. What kind of problem solving skill does DSP have? Okay, I have a problem. I can't figure out what part of the stream is worth making a short. Oh, Bill said I should open a suggestion thread and then have people suggest the parts there. What does that mean? Like, you literally have the solution staring at you in your face. It's really like that triggering moment in that fucking pre-stream where he's staring at Game Pass. I can't play indie games. I'm not a millionaire. I can't afford to throw money at them as I pay for Game Pass every month. It has a lot of games on them, and it had Persona 5 Tactica that he could have also played, but I don't have any games to play. I can't just take a risk on all these indie games. If only there was some kind of subscription service that I'm paying for every month that has a lot of games I could choose from, and I could try them with no risk involved, and it was something that I hyped up when I could have gotten the Xbox Series X. If only something like that existed. This dude is staring at answers, and he's like, how do I make it work? It's really like he's like a caveman trying to figure out how to start a fire, but he has the wood, the stone, the flint. He has everything that's needed to make a fire, and he's just like, what do I do? Huh? Wait. This dude is an idiot. An idiot, a certified idiot. I never get surprised. I never have to worry about DSP becoming a genius because he can't solve anything. Like, he's the human personified version of iJustine problems. Well, no, him and iJustine have the same problem solving skills, but iJustine, I would argue, probably learns, and she at least, I feel like, if I remember the Portal video a little bit, she at least felt a little stupid when she realized that the solution to the puzzle was easy. Like, she at least had the self-awareness to realize, oh, this is way easier than I thought. DSP just flat out doesn't have the self-awareness and refuses to believe that he's an idiot. He's that stupid.
I don't have the ability to do that. You know, I'm sorry. I like the charity suggestion was valid. Had to explain why I can't do it that way, right? This suggestion is completely valid. It's just that, sadly, I don't have the means to do it like other bigger people. Because, again, I guarantee you the people that this person's talking about are big streamers, big content creators. And they make a fucking short and it gets 20, 30,000 views, right? So it benefits their channel. I make a short, it gets a couple hundred views to 1,000. And that's
no, none of his shorts are shorts he made. He didn't make any of the shorts. So the problem he has that it won't get a lot of views is not, like, tied to him. It's just his channel is fucked.
Remember what the funny short was, and I submit, you know, have someone work on it for me. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I mean?
Just, it's not as easy as people think. People do think that everything is in life is so easy. It's not at all. This kind of stuff, it's, you know, for someone like me, again, the difference here is that people just think I'm the same as everyone else. I'm literally couldn't be further from everyone else out there who's a content creator. You have to understand that. Even people who you think are my contemporaries. No, I've always been different.
This dude literally yells and screams and cries when people don't look at their contemporaries. And he's like, I'm not like my other contemporaries, man. So why don't you look at what they do? You know what? Okay, we're going back to toxic mode for a fucking minute for this fucking dumbass. He gets so mad how people don't look at oh my god, I'm like really hungry. So I'm like spacing out a little bit. How they don't look at their contemporaries. They don't look at their contemporaries to grow and adapt and blah blah blah. DSP is not looking at his contemporaries. Instead, he's having you do the work for him. He's having you look at his contemporaries and then tell him that he can say no or not acknowledge it. And all this shit. So, he's not even doing what he's yelling at other people for doing. So how is he any better? If anything, I'd argue he's worse, because at least the people who don't look at their contemporaries, they at least have enough faith in their own content that they stand by to the point they don't need to listen to other people telling them how to make their content. But DSP is such a weak-backed bitch. He can't even do any of that. He can't even look at his contemporaries himself unless it's to shit on them.
I'm a one-man show. I do all this shit myself, right? Every day. And if I'm very grateful for the help that I get from the people who help me every day, because I wouldn't even be as good as I am without the help that I get. But I'm stretched thin. I really am. You know? It's very hard for me to do anything outside of the realm of what I'm already doing, because I'm already here 6 days a week, all day, full time.
So how did he find the time to do the movie reviews? He's not doing movie reviews right now. And the movie reviews didn't take away from gameplay time. Like, you know, it's really funny. It's really funny. I didn't think about this until I said it out loud. Because he's saying he has no time, the sickness delayed him, and all this stuff. But look at what happens. What's he doing off stream that's different than what he did before? How did the sickness affect that? It affected the on-stream schedule. So how did it affect him doing a review of Invincible? You know, what happened to that? He says, oh, I still have to review that. What time is he catching up on? Like, what's going on? It's really bizarre. Because it's not like he's doing 2 months worth of Patreon review videos, because he did the October Patreon videos already, and he did the November ones recently, apparently, or whatever the fuck. So, what other thing is distracting him? How can he not do anything else? What's he doing? It's getting more suspicious to the point where he must have enough time. The fact is that, because how can he have time to do movie reviews in October, but he has no time to do the Invincible review when there's nothing else that's being delayed. Like, what are you talking about? What's going on? Okay.
You know, how do I have time? Yeah, if I had 3 more extra hours every day, I would scour my streams and videos to find the funny shorts moments and break them out and make shorts out of them. I don't have that time. I'm not,
And this,
again, I'm not.
you know, this was a thing that Tevin said way back when in an old video that DSP should have like a little piece of paper and write down like the time period or like when something funny happens. But no, he can't do that. That's too much work.
Single. I'm not in my 20s sitting at home with nothing to do all day.
But
this is what I do all day. It's not.
No, that's a logo.
When I was single and I was in my 20s and early 30s, that's exactly what I did. I sat around all day recording insane amounts of videos and pumping them out nonstop on YouTube. That's how I made my living, and that's how I became so prominent back then. Things are not like that anymore, right? So there you go.
There you go.
So I hope you guys understand, and I'm going to keep going through these suggestions. But what's hilarious is that you get a couple suggestions that absolutely are fair and reasonable, and we can talk about them fairly and maybe consider them.
All the fair suggestions he got were either just not acknowledged when he read them, or it's just it can't work. And then if there's a possibility, you just have to tell him to do it so that way he can blame you for it. Because he literally has the solution for the YouTube short, and he didn't register it. He just said it, he read it, and was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. What does that mean?
Then you get a bunch of people who are just like fucking so entitled, demanding people. Why aren't you just immediately doing everything that my favorite...
And then it says that they're demanding. You ask for suggestions. Okay, let's even assume, right, that these people were being demanding and unreasonable. Let's just go with that, right? But you asked for help. Like, it may not be helpful, and that's fine, but to bellyache over it is kind of dumb. It's kind of bullshit. Because you chose to read it on top of that. It's not even like, oh, so put your suggestions here, and then you're like, okay, this isn't helpful, so I'm not going to read it. And you just read only the helpful ones. He chose to read all of them. And it's just been making it look negative. But okay.
Streamer does. Because I'm not your favorite streamer.
I'm not your favorite streamer.
I'm someone different. I always have been. You know? I can't...
Yeah, I'm not your favorite streamer. I don't do what other people do, but I need to turn the face cam on because other streamers do it. You're saying I should shorten my podcast, but other streamers have an hour-long podcast. Why can't I? Okay.
Constantly just do everything what everyone else does. I don't want to do everything everyone else does. It must be different, right?
Okay, so then why did you turn on a face cam, Phil? Why did you decide to do a podcast, Phil? Why did you decide to have LED lights behind you, Phil?
Anyway. All right.
Anyway.
So we'll get back to that soon, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see, right? We shall see what happens. And go from there. But thank you guys. Let's continue. And let's get the shout-outs. So first contribution of the...
All right. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. It was something. But always remember...
Shut the fuck up. Get a job.
That's right. And also, I'd like to say thank you for watching. You guys probably enjoyed this video. Again, let's check on my massive banger tweet. Did it get any more traction? Let's reload the page. Yes. Let's just I went viral, guys. It happened. 134. I got more retweets. 81 quote tweets. 492 likes. This tweet is doing numbers, guys. It's doing numbers. Like, this might be the only tweet that's gonna do banger numbers, and that's gonna be it. Like, this is gonna be the only time I get these numbers, and then after that, I'll be a nobody again. Crazy. It's insane, guys. I can't believe it. I made a banger tweet. And you know what's even funnier? My tweet is probably, I would say, a little bit more interesting than DSP dunking on the Oscars, because I actually liked his art and all this kind of stuff, so I had a little bit more to say and all this kind of stuff. Like, it was a little bit more interesting. and more people liked what I had to say than what DSP had to say. Yeah, that's right, I win. DSP loses yet again. Fuck you, Phil. The Greeks win again. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. I did. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Time to skedaddle on out.